with Phil stumbling drunkenly out of his bed, appearing in his head all the things he's wanting to be said. 19 minutes of Phil to Phil, with so much time to kill. He promised chill, but all he does instead is beg and shill. The stream's online and straight away begins to whine, but always fine as long as Shad's benign and doesn't step out of line. His content's immature for all to endure like fresh manure, but I feel sure he ran straight to feeling so insecure. The money he earned on yesterday was withdrawn and long gone, as Phil's spending impulse is always had to stay on. If supports are also slow and stays so low and fails to grow, you never know, the show may turn into an easy bingo. Once ticked off across the board with charge to what, because his code can be ignored. Just how much DSP makes us feel so bored. To help us fight or sleep and try to keep alert to watch a creep who play bingo, but Phil will bitch and why his sheep are also cheap. While DSP is chasing green, we're seeing green across the screen as Phil's routine predictability rivals are slow machine. He's snorting, burping, leaning, ban. It matters not if battery fun is shy or scan to see if hours make him feel less of a man. Takes a drink and starts like before launching into a bike, pretending they're from bills when truth is there to buy a wrestling JPEG. Talks about his shitty life of call his cat and fatty wife and all his strife, while forgetting that it's unwell and they were rife. With drama he will react, but isn't act. That is a fact as he rehearsed to be exact in how he felt he was attacked. She's nearly over it and a win is in sight, with what to white despite Phil to light that tips were not white. We'll say alright, it is okay, and now it's time for Phil to play, but first he'll say that tips will help from being off the other day. And with those words we win again. It's never if but always when the game is won. Thanks to that we made it to the very end. Hey guys, King Jad here, and welcome back to DSP Bingo. What is today? Friday the 23rd of February 2024. Thank fuck it's Friday. It has been a long week, it feels like, you know, but we've made it to the fucking weekend, hallelujah and all that jazz, fucking ready for that. Phil is back from his most precious of days off, and he's going to have a shorter streaming week. And because he's going to have a shorter streaming week, I have said that if we hear Phil talk about how it's more important than usual get support because it's a shorter streaming week, we're getting a free space in the bingo. So if Phil mentions the fact that because it's a shorter streaming week, it's important for him to get support, because obviously it's not 6 days of support he's trying to get, but 5, he has pulled that before in the past. So if he says that on the stream, how it's very, it's more important than usual to try and get more support to make up for a shorter week, that is a goddamn free space right fucking there. We'll see if Phil does it or not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll see what happens in time. This stream by Phil was originally called Back from Break, Phil's Day Off, Then More Act 3. He has renamed it since going live to Game News, Addressing Misinfo, Then More Act 3 Fun. So yeah, he's definitely going to talk about today as Phil was upset last night. And not because of Tifa and a bikini. Tifa and Aerith and swimsuits. By the way, the centre square today is Tifa. I'm certain that Phil is going to fucking address Tifa because the internet lost their damn mind about this. You know, like these two swimsuits and all that shit. And Phil's like, I'll get rid of the girls, let's see more of him half naked instead. That's what Phil fucking wants to go, you know what I mean? Enough of the bikini pictures. You know, but Phil is this is what he's complaining about. This is his tweet from the other night there. Apparently my podcast discussing the Elden Ring DLC only 4 hours after it was announced, before more info was known, is being passed around as if I was ignorant or purposefully ignoring known facts, which of course is wrong. I'll discuss it and far more on Friday's show. And yeah, somebody made a video. Josh Prime Gaming. So this is the first I'm actually hearing about this. Josh Prime Gaming, who shall we check it out? I feel like we should check it out. But it's just, I don't know, I've never heard of this guy before in my life, but 14k views in 9 hours. Phil was using his pants thinking I wish I could get that sort of fucking metric traction on my own shitey fucking videos. And yeah, it looks like what Phil is being called out for is about the pricing of the DLC. Or something like that, you know, so that's what it seems like anyway. So Josh Prime Gaming, I don't know, it's literally the first time I'm hearing about it, you know, I've not really looked into it too much. Oh no, Plum Switcher is not watching the pre-stream this morning, oh well. That's okay, he deserves a break every now and then. Phil's question if he's late or not. Phil originally set his stream up to begin an hour later than usual. He's not a very fucking smart boy, is he? So hold on, give me a second. Let's see if we can find like Josh Prime Gaming. Let's So let's see if we can find this dafty Josh Prime Gaming, who has dipped his toe into the tractor sphere of things. So he regularly does get good views in his videos. A day ago as well, You're Not Ready for Elden Ring DLC, 16k views. Let's see, let's see, so, can you imagine if Phil left a comment in the video or tried to contact the guy behind the scenes? And so keep in mind, Phil always complains about how people never go to him directly and try and talk behind the scenes to hash us out, but they'll just fucking do it publicly instead. Phil could have easily contacted this Josh Prime Gaming via Twitter or left a comment in his video and tried to discuss more with there. Instead, Phil ran to his own Twitter X account, bitched and whined and moaned about it to his audience on Twitter X, and now he's going to bitch and whine more about it tonight on this very podcast right here. Ah, goodness me. And Phil's very confused why his audience is confused, probably because Phil set his stream to begin an hour later than usual. Now he turned up and thinking, where is everyone? Why is nobody here yet? Because Phil was a dumbass and he completely fucking screwed up the foot at the start of the time. So yeah, and by the way, I don't know if Phil is actually alluding to this video, but it would make sense to, because there's a video about Elden Ring DLC, which has popped off in views, 20,000 views now. I've not seen any of this. Should we give it a quick watch before bingo? I think we should. I mean, let's do it. Let's give it a wee quick watch. But we're going to watch it in 1.25 speed, as is tradition when it comes to anything DSP related. Well, Phil's going live. I guess we'll build up some speed up juice.
The DLC is $39.99. You charge just $40 for 10 hours of content, right? You can buy Elden Ring for like 10 bucks, 5 bucks. I do feel like that's kind of a dirty trick.
Well, here we go again. Elden Ring's DLC trailer hasn't even been out for 2 days now, and we already have some of the dumbest takes regarding the price, the quality, and today's take is coming from none other than DSP, Darkside Phil. He's saying that From Software are price gouging the base game so that they can capitalize on it. Basically, he's a...
That is exactly what Phil said. Josh Prime Gaming has not lied. Phil literally did use those words.
Approaching the realm of slander at that point, because what he's claiming is not even close to being accurate. And then he's complaining that the game is too expensive. And we're going to dive deep into this. Trust me, it is a pile of cringe. If you're new to the channel, this is kind of my thing. I love roasting dumb takes and journalists, so you're going to be seeing a lot of this on the channel. I absolutely love making this type of content. Let's see what crap he has to say today.
Shows some stuff. I don't want to spoil too much for those who don't want to be spoiled on the DLC. It shows various bosses of the DLC that look interesting. But the thing that really gets me, and I think everyone right now is scratching our heads about, okay? The DLC is $39.99.
Blink, 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 blink. Yes, we get it, Phil.
It's the most expensive DLC FromSoft has ever sold. Okay? So, that being said, with that price tag on it, right? You have to believe it's going to be incredibly long. If the main game was $70 and was 80 to 100 hours long, obviously you would expect that a DLC that's $40 is going to probably be around 40 hours long. Now, you could be wrong. Maybe they're going to rip everybody off. Maybe because they took 2 years to make it and they've decided to beat it, to blow it up as much as they have, hype it up this much. Maybe they're just going to rip everybody off.
All right, already I have to cut in because...
So now I'll cut in as well ahead of you because I'm in control if I can stream in video. But isn't Phil always someone who claims that he doesn't like to fucking announce things or talk about things until he has the full facts of the situation? How often has Phil said that he doesn't want to fucking talk about certain things going on with him or whatever because he's eager to try and get the full... He's eager to try and get the full picture first before disclosing to his audience what the fuck's happening. And yet here was Phil jumping the gun and talking about Elden Ring and getting a whole bunch of shit hilariously wrong.
When in the history of From Software has From Software sold a shitty product? Since Miyazaki took over, it doesn't happen. All their DLCs, all their games are worth the money. And then he's saying that they blew it up and they're trying to hype it. From Software has literally been quiet about this for 2 years. They're not even trying to hype it like that. It's like they had nothing to show because obviously a lot of work went into this DLC. At first, I was kind of surprised that it took that long. But once again, when you see the trailer and you see the quality of the product they're about to put out, I don't mind waiting another 4 months at all. And 2 years was well spent if it ends up being the best From Software DLC of all time. The way he should see this is that this is kind of Elden Ring 1.5. It's not a simple DLC, but rather an expansion.
Overcharge. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. If you buy that sucker and you beat it in 10 hours, people are going to be pissed as shit. Like, are you out of your fucking minds? You charge just $40 for 10 hours of content, right? And that's the thing. Like, typical DLCs for FromSoft games clock in around 10 hours long, right? Take a look at the expansions for Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3. They're not that lengthy. They're good, but they're not that lengthy. Typically, they've gone for around 20 bucks. So for this one to be 40, that's a big ask.
Gosh, this guy's such a moron for comparing it to a DLC like Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. The DLC for Elden Ring is 60 gigs. It is basically the same size as the main game. Now, Miyazaki said that it's roughly a little bit bigger than Limgrave, but like I explained it in yesterday's video, Miyazaki always undersells and over-delivers. He did the same thing with the base game, said it took between 20 to 30 hours to complete, and we all know very well that it takes a lot more time than that. It's like this guy loves to be a contrarian for some reason. He always has to find a reason to bitch and moan about everything in sight.
Okay, now also, they're selling a special edition of the game that includes the original Elden Ring, also packaged with the DLC, and that's going to sell for $79.99. Okay, so that's $80 for the complete package of Elden Ring. But the weird part about that is you can buy Elden Ring for like 10 bucks, $5. You can find discs of it everywhere online for cheap. You know what I mean? So essentially, they're overinflating the value of the original game back to $40 just because you need the original game to access the DLC. And I don't know if I agree with that. I do feel like that's kind of a dirty trick. You know, if you're someone who played the original, good for you. You could just easily you go right back to the spot to access the DLC for free. But what about people who maybe now I'm jumping on? So now I got to pay $80 to play the full game? Why? The original game is supposed to be like $5, $10, and then if I bought the DLC, so this should be $35. You know what I'm saying? So what they're doing, they are monstrously inflating the value. In fact, I'm just curious, how much is it now?
What he's saying right now is 100% a lie. The price has been extremely consistent, $60 US, and if you're in other regions or use a VPN, you might see a different number.
What about an Argentinian VPN, for example? Look, this guy is not playing fair whatsoever. He is using facts and evidence and figures to disprove Phil's fucking bullshit. How is Phil meant to fucking compete with somebody presenting evidence against him? It's just unfair.
But it has been very consistent. It dropped 40% in January of 23, and it dropped in July of 23, October 23, and January of 24.
Oh my God, what's up?
Thank you very much to Warren for a super chat, who says he doesn't buy anything anyway. He makes his dens buy everything for him. Precisely, they fucking get to donate games for him. I want to remind everyone, when Phil played Elden Ring, across tips and across super chats and across member bombs and everything when he was playing Elden Ring, he basically made about $11,000 in one game. And a lot of that money, like a fifth of that money or a quarter of that money was from one email, how you pronounce his fucking name. So yeah, he should not really be complaining about the cost of something when the first Elden Ring game gave him 5 figures back. And he's like, oh, fucking $40, fucking wow.
And now it's back to its regular price. This guy is just spreading so much misinformation, either because he doesn't want to do a minute and a half of research, or because he's just being dishonest.
It's both.
Like, where can you buy Elden Ring for $5 or $10? That just doesn't exist unless you're buying it from a crackhead down the street that robbed a gaming store. But besides that, there's no way you're getting Elden Ring for $5 or $10.
How do I go to the page for it? I don't know how you see it on PS5, darn. Because I wanted to look at information, is it? No. I was curious how much they're selling it for on PSN right now, right? I don't think I can find it, honestly. PlayStation Store. Because I already own it, so it's not going to show me how much you have to pay for it, I don't think.
Wait for it.
There, Elden Ring.
Wait for it. Almost there.
View product.
And here we go.
It won't show me, yeah, because I already own it. It won't show me how much it costs. which sucks because I would have liked to see. I can tell you this: they already put them on here. It's already here. Holy shit! Yeah. So, Shadow of the Erdtree edition is $79.99, and they have a Shadow of the Erdtree Deluxe edition, which also includes a digital art book and OST. That's it. It's just a digital art book and OST, and it's fucking $20 more. That's just crazy. It's already there.
Actually, no, Phil, it's not that crazy that the pre-order page is already there. It's called marketing. When you do marketing and you're showing a trailer for something, you want people to be able to buy it right away. Keep in
Exactly.
mind, this is the guy that went to business school, right? I don't know how he doesn't understand that. The Steam page was available right away for pre-orders, and the PlayStation Store was updated, as it always is, in the afternoon here in the US. And of course, the page is going to be there because you want to capitalize off the hype of the announcement. You want to take in as
Oh, is that is lion? Remember Phil was like saying, oh, they got some sort of lion.
going to be there because you want to capitalize
This motherfucker Phil called a lion. Bitch, that's a dragon.
off the hype of the announcement. You want to take in as many pre-orders as possible.
Hold on, as a lion? It's actually called a chain. And I don't know. I don't think so. I had no idea there was actually such a thing as a fucking Chinese lion or whatever. You know, because like when Phil was talking about it, it sounded like he was talking about a fucking dragon. Well, I am wrong then, and I will hold my hands up and say yes, I was wrong for doubting that in the first place. My bad. See, I can own my mistakes, unlike some other people like Phil.
It is a business after all. I mean, I don't understand why he's so surprised by that.
The trailer came out like 5 hours ago. It's already fucking here. So anyway, yeah. So there you have it. I don't know how much they're maybe they're going to charge $40 again. Maybe they reinflated the cost of Elden Ring because I know it wasn't $40. Last time I checked, that thing was going for real cheap, and now it sounds like they're reinflating the value of the game again for no good reason besides they want extra money because the DLC's coming out. There are collector's editions as well. I saw one that has an actual statue of Mesmer the Impaler, right? And someone in chat was saying there's another higher end edition that has a fucking a helmet or something. A helmet. And that's what I want to do. When I play Elden Ring, I want to wear the helmet. All right. But I will say this: in honor of Elden Ring's DLC announcement today, if we hit the $100 tips goal on either of my streams, I will wear the Knight's helmet, the Dumas helmet today, as the hat. There you go. Excuse me.
So hold on, Josh Prime Gaming included that in this. Oh, what's Josh got to say about that?
So, yeah, that's a hell of an announcement.
So yeah, that was his shit take of the day. To think that the DLC is going to be 10 hours and that From Software is going to scam their viewers. Absolutely ridiculous. But like I said before, if you're new-ish to the channel, you might be surprised seeing a video like this, but I love roasting shit takes. I did the same for Armored Core. It was so much fun, and it's really a passion of mine. So you're going to see more videos like this. I already have one in mind for tomorrow. Believe it or not, the take is even worse than what we just witnessed, so keep an eye out for that. Now do me a favor and subscribe to the...
And blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. I have a feeling that Josh Prime Gaming will go back to Phil to farm some more content in the very near future. So yeah, let's crack on with bingo and get ready to go friggin' bingo. Quick check. Is this going to be the short intro or the long? It's a short. Well, he's got little fucking intro things. So there we go. Let's go to 1.25 speed and let's make sure we're all ready to go. And there's one more thing I'm forgetting. What is it I'm forgetting? Oh, aye, the bingo card. Give us a random number, chat. The first number in chat I saw was Untold Disguise with 3,216. That was the first one that appeared in my chat, and yeah, the chat shows it as well. There we go, evidence. So let me just randomise the bingo background very quickly. The centre square is Tifa because I generally think Phil's going to mention the Final Fantasy trailer and, you know, and Tifa and bikini pictures, whatever, but the internet was losing its damn mind about that, so I think Phil will touch upon that subject at some point. But yeah, random number. 3216 picked by Untold Disguise. Here is our bingo board for today's game. We have Phil to say chill, comment, in fact, variety, and Tim messing with his phone. The second row is Phil saying nobody or no one, basically him slapping the leg, him giving a good old prayer hands to the camera, and Tim saying absolutely. The third row is Phil saying hate to say, meaningful, Tifa, Pim Pigs playing something, and Tim saying time. The fourth row is Phil saying excited, allow me to explain, positive, him smacking his lips, and Tim saying fuck. And the fifth and final row is Phil saying feedback, Twitter or X, shocked, detractor or trolls, and finally, you see. Quite a strong card in my opinion, I quite like the look of it. Unsorted Skies, there's a bad feeling about this card. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens, you know. You're either going to be a hero or you're going to be a villain, so yeah, good luck to you. Nah, nobody will blame me if it doesn't win. It's a strong looking card, and we can definitely see Phil saying and doing all these things, but if it happens today, who knows. He is apparently in a mood today, so it might bring out the worst in him, and we might get a whole bunch of these kind of, you know, things ticked off in a quick succession, who knows. But yeah, I think we're ready to rock and roll and get on with the show. Yeah, so before we even begin, of course, you know, the aim of the game, as you guys will all know, is to try and get a full house, 25 out of 25 on the bingo board you see before you on the screen. And if we do that, one of you guys can potentially win a prize, but only if you have left a comment in a community post, which is linked in the description of this live stream. If you haven't done that, you're not going to fucking win a prize. Simple as that. Now, for us to get a full house, there's a variety of ways for us to get free spaces for this bingo card. For example, if Phil snorts 25 times or burps 10 times before he starts recording for gameplay for YouTube, that will give us all a free space. And if we get 100 likes on this bingo stream before we finish playing bingo tonight, that too will give us a free space. And not only will it be a free space, but you guys also get to enjoy the Bubbles animation that Pixar Animations so very kindly made for us all to enjoy to celebrate the 100 likes. Radman's asking, what is Tifa? Character from Final Fantasy VII. Female character. And the internet were losing their damn minds because they were in a bikini in the game, and it's like people are going, oh wow, boobs, and yeah. So Phil might mention that, who knows, we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, there is one more way actually for us to get a free space in today's bingo only, because Phil is going to have a shorter streaming week. If he comes out with a sort of line and narrative that says that he wants more support than usual to make up for missing a day of streaming because it's a shorter streaming week, that will give us all a free space as well. I have declared it, I've decided it. So if Phil mentions or tries to sneak into the segment how it's a shorter streaming week, so more support would be good, that will give us a free space as well. Now I think I've covered all the bases. The only thing left for me to do is press the random Scottish soundboard button to send us into fucking battle.
This is the fucking Shawshank Redemption, right? But with more tunneling through shit and no fucking redemption.
Probably one of the most perfect ways to begin bingo. Time go.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new week of streaming here on DSP Gaming. And what a day we've got in store. This show, particularly, is going to have so much to talk about, including addressing misinformation about this very show that I wasn't even aware of until I started checking video comments overnight. But in addition to that, we've got all kinds of new updates on gaming news, more Elden Ring DLC information, tons of information about other games and how they're doing. I have an update on the status of co-op with my wife and I in future playthroughs. Phil's Day Off segment. I mean, we've got a loaded show today, so let's get started right here on the Level 1.
I'm usually doing before I could say podcast because fuck Phil and fuck his shitey fucking intro. We didn't actually have anything to tick off so far, I believe. I don't think I missed anything yet. But yeah. I'm just kind of waiting for this shitey intro to end and I'll be that. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. Fingers crossed. Let's fucking get a victory going into the weekend.
Alrighty, everyone, so welcome to the show. It is Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024.
Murder.
Of course, I'm DSP. First of all, it looks bright in here because it is. Full sun outside today. Even my blinds can't really hold it back, so that's why, if you're like, oh, the coloring is like way off, I can't really see the background today.
Oh, hello, a second, hold on. He was a busy boy in his fucking day off. Hold on a second, wait a second here. We got to do a couple of things because Phil had his day off little antics again. First of all,
Go back to Supercuts and get your $5 back, jabroni!
oh no! Second of all,
Nice shirt, 25 cents.
and third,
My biggest fans are idiots.
there we go.
Fuck you and your friends.
Anyway, I couldn't help myself. I've got a brand new haircut, so I've got to fucking play the haircut clip. Simple as that. Fucking 2 for 1 special at curls and twirls. Both of them getting a fucking hair trimmed and get a hair dyed together as well. Fucking quality stuff indeed.
That's the reason why. Now, this is the start of a new streaming week and the start of a shorter streaming week. Only 5 days this week, while normally my work week is 6. You might say, well, I wonder why Phil's doing a shorter week. It's because of the impending release of the ginormous game Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You may have heard of it, considering it's been the talk of the town the last couple of days since the advanced reviews have released, and everyone is praising this game profusely. Actually, if you look at like Metacritic, it is actually the second highest rated Final Fantasy game ever at launch. Apparently, the only other Final Fantasy game that rated this highly was Final Fantasy IX on the PlayStation 1. Now, I don't know if that's correct.
I need to hold on, that fucking face.
9 on the PlayStation 1.
Hold on. There we go. The face. Give me a second, give me a second. Oh my god, I just love how he has nothing interesting to add to a fucking point. He just pulls some sort of fucking dumbass clown mode face. And it does nothing to help him and the point he's making. It just makes him look like an even bigger buffoon than he actually fucking is. It's like, it just gives him less credibility when he makes faces like this. Now, let me yeet that towards my members in my members Discord so they can have fun doing whatever they want with that particular image. Fantastic. Here we go.
Now, I don't know if that's correct. I don't know if it's skewed for some reason. I mean, we did just have Final Fantasy 16 last year, which was polarizing. So maybe the fact that we now have a Final Fantasy game that most people are really enjoying and there's really no argument about that is a good thing. So, with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releasing on Thursday, February 29th, that kind of throws a little bit of a monkey wrench into my plans. As usual, I would have a day off on a Thursday, just like I did yesterday. But the 29th is Thursday. I want to be here for the release of the day, or the release of the game, so I'm going to shift my day off by a day. So my day off next week will actually be Wednesday the 28th, which means I'll be here all day long on Thursday the 29th to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with all of you, which I'm very excited for. I've already told you guys many, many times that this essentially will be one of my biggest hyped playthroughs of the year. Like, I felt way more hyped for this game than pretty much anything so far, and quite frankly, looking at the rest of the game landscape for the year, I think this is going to be one of the big ones, okay? So let's see how it goes, but anyway, being that that is the case, I'm not here, well, I'm not going to be here Wednesday, but that means my whole, schedule is kind of abridged, a little bit less time to do extra stuff this week, and this week will be a big push to get as far as I can in the existing games we're playing before Final Fantasy VII comes out and becomes the major new release and the major game that I'm playing for several weeks. Okay, in fact, if I remember correctly, the next major release is around the 22nd of the month or something like that, and I think that's Rise of the Ronin as well as Dragon's Dogma 2. Now, we also know there's another game coming out, the Star Wars Battlefront Collection, that's coming out around the middle of the month, and that's cool. We may throw that in there for multiplayer fun, but it's going to give us 2 to 3 weeks to basically focus really heavily on Final Fantasy VII, okay? All right, so we got so much to talk about, really. We've got a ton to talk about. How about this? How about we start at the beginning, meaning going back to Wednesday, because I want to address something that apparently happened on my day off that I wasn't aware of, but happens all the time. As you know, there's a ton of people on the internet who just basically are out to always make me look bad no matter what it is I say and do.
Oh, the guy was able to make a video based on the things you said and done on your own content without any fucking context from detractors or trolls. The guy saw your take and thought, that's a shit fucking take, I'm going to debunk this on my own without any outside interference. They watched what you fucking said and responded to your points in kind about a game that they're passionate about. So you don't go blaming detractors and trolls for this fucking bullshit, Phil, because someone else fucking caught your dumbass takes and thought, okay, you know what, I'm going to challenge us.
I'm constantly misrepresented, I'm constantly misreferenced, and I'm constantly held in a negative light, even though there's really no valid reason for it. Now, if there's a valid reason for it, that's one thing. But we've got a case here where literally, apparently, there's a group of people who are really angry with me, and I don't know why, because literally what they're angry at me for didn't happen, okay? Let's recap and go back to Wednesday's show, all right? On this very show, the Level 1 podcast, back on Wednesday, I had a big segment about Elden Ring's DLC, The Shadow of the Erdtree. At that moment when I record the podcast, which starts around 11 a.m., okay, 11 a.m. Pacific time, all right? I talked about everything that was known at the time about this DLC. The price, the features, because we'd seen some of those features shown in the release trailer, and speculation. At that point, 11 a.m. Pacific time, the trailer for this DLC had only been present on the internet for 4 hours. It had released around 7 a.m. There was no other information. Everything was speculation. Now, what ended up happening was, over the course of the day, more information was released because Miyazaki, the guy behind Elden Ring and other FromSoft games, was interviewed. And when he was interviewed, he gave a ton of additional information about the DLC that was all positive stuff that, number one, is exactly what Elden Ring fans are looking for, and number two, actually answered a lot of the questions that we posed together when we were talking about this DLC back on Wednesday. So let's recap. Originally, when we were talking about the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, right, we were talking about some of the things that we actually saw.
Oh, did Phil say Twitter or X about Miyazaki, like, an interview? Like, hold on. I don't know, did I miss Phil saying Twitter or X there? I feel like I need to rewind it for like fucking like 30 seconds. I'm sorry, guys, but I want to make sure he didn't. I just want to make sure I got it.
Been present on the internet for 4 hours. It had released around 7 a.m. There was no other information. Everything was speculation. Now, what ended up happening was, over the course of the day, more information was released because Miyazaki, the guy behind Elden Ring and other FromSoft games, was interviewed. And when he was interviewed, he gave a ton of additional DLC.
Sorry, my bad.
You know, some new gameplay. Where when you find Mikella and Mikella DLC, right? We were talking about some of the things that we actually saw in it, which included a new boss, you know, some new.
Hold on. Can you repeat that, Phil? How can he turn a 1-syllable word of boss and make it like 3 syllables? Hold on. I'm going to rewind just to make sure I'm not missing any context again.
Positive stuff that, number one, is exactly what Elden Ring fans are looking for, and number two, actually answered a lot of the questions that we posed together when we were talking about this DLC back on Wednesday. So let's recap. Originally, when we were talking about the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, right, we were talking about some of the things that we actually saw in it, which included a new boss.
How? A boss? Why did I find that so funny?
We were talking about some of the things that we actually saw in it, which included.
Okay, let's slow this down. First of all, maybe I'm just doing it misjustice because I'm playing it fast speed. Let's try that at normal speed.
A new boss.
That was normal speed. Hold on.
Things that we actually saw in it, which included a new boss.
I'm sorry. On its own, just bah. It's just. I don't know if it's. Maybe it's just because I'm tired as fuck. But to me, I find this fucking hilarious. Just him saying it like that.
Some of the things that we actually saw in it, which included.
What did it include, Phil? Give me a second here, and let's slow this down appropriately.
A new boss.
Alright, it's even fucking funnier. It's even fucking funnier at half speed. That was half speed. It's even better at half speed. God. Oh my god, hold on.
Some of the things that we actually saw in it, which included a new boss.
Jesus Christ. Okay, there's only one place to go from that point in time. So there's only one more place we can go.
Some of the things that we actually saw in it, which included a new boss.
Hold on. We're gonna do this one time only, okay? 0.1 speed. Yeah, okay. We're done. We're going back to normal speed to go and just see if I can track on. I mean, that caught me off guard. Okay, but no more.
You know, some new gameplay elements, etc. Who is Mesmer the Impaler, right? The fact that you can access the DLC, where when you find Mikella, and Mikella's body is in that rotted cocoon down in the Moog's blood palace and stuff like that. So basically, we were discussing all of that in detail, lots of hype. And by the way, if you put it into perspective, the entire segment was hype. My entire border for Wednesday was Elden Ring. In fact, if I could just bring it up quickly, let me find it. Well, now of course I can't find it because I want to do it fast, and now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. This was my border on Wednesday. Now, if you don't think that I'm hyped for this DLC and I'm positive about it, why would I make my whole border characters from FromSoft games with Elden Ring at the top? If you're not even aware, which you might not be, Elden Ring was my runner-up for Game of the Year when it came out. It was a very close battle that year for what game was going to win Game of the Year for me. I love Elden Ring. I'm pumped. I even said in the podcast on Wednesday, hey, I'm actually going to be playing Elden Ring again in May because we've had a playthrough that we were doing of it last year. It was my second ever run. It was a magic-based run. We had gotten all the way up to the Corrupted Dragon, which is that optional boss, the Lich Dragon or whatever. We had beaten him, but we hadn't gone ahead past that. Basically, we froze after beating the capital city and then beating that Lich Dragon. We didn't continue on because there's other optional stuff to do. We didn't get to the Blood Palace or anything like that yet. But now that we know... excuse me, that the DLC is coming out June 21st. Hey, now we have opportunity to say, let's maybe pick up the Elden Ring second run in May. Let's finish it up, or at least get close to the end and get to the Blood Palace. Let's beat Moog with this new magic build, and then let's get set up for the DLC. And the other thing that we actually did, I praised Elden Ring, saying, this is a good game because you can respec whenever you want. So let's say we start this DLC and the magic build's feeling overpowered, or maybe immediately you find a new weapon and you want to try to use it, you can just go back and respec and use it. That's a great thing about this game, right? So... I'm under the impression that most of the things I said about the Elden Ring DLC on Wednesday were very, very positive, right? The one thing that was a question mark for me was the price. It's a $40 DLC. That's the most expensive ever expansion for a FromSoft game, or I should say a Elden Ring, a Soulsborne style game. And in previous iterations, if you looked at the price of DLCs that they had released, I think the most expensive one had been like 20. Don't quote me on that because I might be wrong, and usually the DLCs would be around 10 to 15 hours long. So I'm thinking, man, if this DLC is $40, you've got to think it's probably going to be pretty lengthy. Like if the original game was $70, well, if it was 60, I can't remember. And the original game was, 80 to 100 hours long, then you would think that this DLC would probably minimum be 40 hours long, right? Maybe even longer than that, right? But again, my question was...
Never mind your question. Your questions are shite. I don't know why it didn't play. Warren sent a super chat saying wee all the way home. It didn't actually play the animation for it. I don't know why. Maybe Stream Elements has been a bit funny right now, but for whatever reason, the animation didn't play. It's not shown in my activity feed, so it hasn't come through yet on the Stream Elements side. But yeah, I mean, and when Warren was just saying there, yeah, I sent a super chat. My point was, he kept saying we did this, we did that, and so Warren saying we all the way home. I said this the other day in Brandwood's stream. Anytime Phil keeps talking about we, all I think about the damn French. Nobody wants to fucking think about the damn French.
I don't know. I'm curious, how long this DLC will be. Hopefully it's not a ripoff. Hopefully it's not, because we realize there's so much hype for this DLC that we're going to charge whatever we want, right? Now, I know for a fact that Elden Ring has been very inexpensive to buy. I just don't think it's been the digital version, but I know that Elden Ring's been inexpensive to buy because I've seen copies of it listed online for very cheap, like 10 or 20 bucks, okay? But what happens is these digital marketplaces overinflate the price of the games and never drop them. So...
But Phil... The problem is that you use the digital marketplace to try and justify your point, and you were proven wrong. So your comparison when you're trying to say it's only $5 was not to go to a website and show people the evidence of that, but instead you went to your fucking PlayStation store and pulled up there, or and you were proven wrong.
During the actual show, I attempted to go into the store and see what's the price, and I couldn't figure it out, and people revealed, it's still $40. I'm like, wow, that's kind of a lot, 2 years later, to be charging $40 for this game, all right? But actually, if you look online, you could get copies used for like 10, 20 bucks. I've seen it actually like clearance on...
You never specified second-hand, Phil. You never specified at any point in time it was a second-hand fucking copy or whatever. At no point did you imply that. Yes, shock horror, you can get things pre-owned for a lesser price than the fucking full price for a brand new thing.
Sale online for like 10, 20 bucks new, but it depends on the time of year and where you're buying it from, okay? But anyway, so this is what we talked about on the show on Wednesday. Very, very positive. I'm excited for this DLC. It looks great to me, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm already making plans to return to Elden Ring in May because of it. So that's where we left it, right?
Okay. I'm not sure if it's going to play, like, I don't know, my super chats are not working right now, but Prophet just sent a super chat as well there, so I'm just going to talk about it here in case it doesn't play automatically on the animation. But Prophet says, just want to stop by and say, King Chad sucks at Rocket League, you bastard. And Prophet to take his dad to the hospital again, so taking a day off from dipshit Phil. Like, Prophet always say family also comes first. You know that better than most, family comes first. You take all the time you need. Make sure your dad's okay as well. He's in good hands with you. Keep looking after him, and also in the hospital as well. He's in good hands there. Fingers crossed. Say if things go smoothly. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, pal. And yeah, just when you get home later on, just let us know how he's doing and all that shit as well, man. I'll catch up with you later, man. But yeah, cheers for the super chat, and just want to say take care of your dad.
So yesterday, as you know, I check comments that are coming in on my videos from time to time. I have to approve a bunch of them, and I start to notice a pattern. All of a sudden, I start seeing a bunch of really negative comments coming in on my podcast from yesterday. I'm like, what is going on? Where are all these negative comments coming from? all right? And they're all around the same topic, okay? You are misinformed about the Elden Ring DLC. Why are you spreading mass information about the Elden Ring DLC? What is this hot take that you have about the Elden Ring DLC? It's completely wrong. You're an old dinosaur who doesn't know what he's talking about, and you're just trying to create clickbait. What? So I went back and I looked at the video. The title of the video is like huge gaming news, Elden Ring DLC. It doesn't say Elden Ring DLC sucks. Elden Ring DLC is a ripoff. You know, it doesn't say any of that. It's actually a very positive titling of the video. If you actually look at the description of the video, there's timestamps. It'll tell you directly where to start watching my segment about the Elden Ring DLC. Okay? So there's really no excuse for someone to be misinformed about what's said in the podcast. It doesn't have a clickbait title that's erroneous or negative for the sake of getting people to click on it. And you can easily access that segment of the show by looking at the timestamp in the description. And so I'm like, I'm really confused. So I continue to read the comments. And it's so ridiculous. It's like, so you're slamming the Elden Ring DLC for being $40, but how dare you slam a DLC that's 60 gigabytes in size, the size of the entirety of the map of Limgrave, a DLC with 10 boss fights, 8 new weapons, blah, blah, blah. And it keeps going on. And all of the comments are kind of like saying this now. And I'm not saying one or two. There's like dozens of comments are coming in like this. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, what happened? I'm like, I think I know what happened. Someone, of course, probably one of my idiotic haters, probably posted up an out of context clip or reference to my podcast, basically maybe taking the one segment where I was speculating and saying, man, I hope it's worth $40 because it could be a ripoff. Maybe they're going to just overcharge for it because you've been waiting for so long and they know there's so much hype. Now, that was one tiny moment of speculation amongst a giant segment of my podcast that was incredibly positive about this DLC. But how much do you want to bet? That's the clip that was taken, and likely they went to, like, for example, what do you call it? They probably went to like a Reddit or something, right? Like a fan Reddit or something like that and posted it up there. So basically, these are people who are like adamantly looking to defend their game against people who slander it. Okay? Now, I'm not the biggest fanboy of Elden Ring. I'm a fan. I was very fair to the game when it came out. I had a ton of very positive things to say about it when it came out. I mean, it was my most played game of the year. Yes, I put more hours into Elden Ring in 2022 than any other game that year, including multiplayer games. I still played Elden Ring more. All right? It was my runner-up for Game of the Year.
Plus, you got $11,000 for playing the game.
But I did have some criticisms of it. I think I have the right to fairly criticize the game, and I feel like I did fairly criticize it when it came out. I really don't feel like I was overly unfair to it. I just thought that there was a lot of things that could have been improved. That's not the point of this video, so I don't need to list them here. You understand? You can watch my review of the game that I made in 2022 if you want to hear those.
Burger.
But basically, to me, like, I'm like, so what really happened, right? And exactly, Agent Coop says you even started a second run. How could anyone say there's Elden Ring hate on this channel? But again, this is exactly the situation I live in. You guys got to understand this, especially those of you who maybe are newer comers here, and you ask questions such as, why do so many people hate Darkside Phil? This is why. Because completely out of my power, completely out of the realm of anything that I've done wrong or can control, people always misrepresent me in the eyes of the public. And they'll say that I did things I didn't do. They'll say I said things I didn't say. They'll take things out of context, right? They'll take rage moments from me playing a night of fighting games where maybe twice I rage, and they'll say that was the whole stream, right? That's what they do. And so how do you combat that? When, sadly, people on the internet are so willing to become like this big defense force for the games that they're massive fans of, and they don't do any research. Because in reality, all these people that came to the video and watched it and attacked it in the comments, because the video now has like over 1,300 views. Just so you guys know, my podcast typically gets 300 to 500 views a day. That's it. If it's a more important day, maybe up to 1,000. This one obviously has big inflated views by the hundreds. So someone posted it somewhere and people came over to attack it negatively, right? So where did this come from, right? I hate to say it, people on the internet are far too leaning towards being so into defending things they like for no good reason, all right? You don't need to defend Elden Ring. Everyone knows it's good, right? I don't think everyone's going to sit here and say, wow, Elden Ring is terrible. Who's going to say that? It's objectively good. It may not be everyone's favorite game, but it's still objectively good. You don't need to go defend it, especially on a podcast like mine. So, you know, I don't get a ton of views. I'm not a popular guy. No one's really listening to my opinions as a revelation of something they didn't realize before.
Well, the simple truth of the matter is this. You said something dumb about a game that people are passionate about. some relevant size YouTuber, I don't know how many fucking subscribers, this guy, I can't even mind his fucking name anymore, I do apologise for that. We watched his video right before the fucking bingo and I fucking forget his name. But yeah, he gained traction, one day, 20k views, not even one day yet, 20k views he's fucking got in a video debunking your claims that you made in your podcast. And you invited this based on the things that you said on your own show. Josh Prime Gaming, thank you, Josh Prime Gaming. So he was aware of what he said, took what he said, challenged your points with evidence of his own, and you're trying to backtrack on that and say that everything that they spoke out against you in their video was misrepresentative of you because trolls. Okay? So it doesn't make sense. Like, you said a bunch of dumb shit and you got called out for it. It's as simple as that.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't even make much sense to me that this would be a big thing. And I don't understand why people fall for it either. Because it's a trick, is what it is. It's, oh, you fell into the black hole of hating on Darkside Phil because someone tricked you into thinking he said something he didn't do. Because in truth, the things that, again, the comments people were leaving on the podcast don't even make sense. They're acting like I don't like Elden Ring. If you actually just watched the podcast, you would know I do. I say right in the podcast, I'm doing a second run, can't wait to get back into it, so many positives, excited to jump back in. How could you think I hate the game? Or I'm misrepresenting the game in a negative light on purpose for clickbait views? What clickbait views did I get? I don't even understand what they're talking about. But the thing that really kills me, okay, is a lot of the things that people reference to say, oh, you were wrong, is information that wasn't publicly available when I did my podcast on Wednesday. Right now, it's 11:26 a.m. This podcast starts between 11 and 11:10 a.m. At 11:10 a.m., on Wednesday, the 21st of February, none of the information about this DLC that people are using to reference and say, oh, you're wrong, was available. No one knew it was 60 gigabytes in size. No one knew the map would be the size of Limgrave from the original game. No one knew there were 10 bosses. No one knew there were 8 new weapons. No one knew anything. This came out in an interview with Miyazaki later in the day. I think it was IGN, but don't quote me on that. I
might be wrong, but didn't Phil reference the size of the fucking map on his podcast, so it was known? I could have sworn that he referenced the size of the map during that podcast, which means it was known. Or is that just a different thing? I don't know, maybe I'm just fucking misremembering and misspeaking, obviously. But yeah, I could have sworn he referenced the map size of the DLC on that podcast from Wednesday.
But it came out and then it's like, wow, this is all awesome positive information about the DLC, and it literally answers all the questions that we had about it. So now I'm even more sold on this DLC. If you're telling me it's going to be a minimum of the size of Limgrave, oh, by the way, this is what sells it for me. Miyazaki outright said in the interview, this has tons of legacy dungeons. The major focus of the DLC is legacy dungeons. Like, that's what they worked on. Now, what was my favorite part of Elden Ring? The legacy dungeons. I wasn't really having too much fun in the open world. I felt the open world after, maybe Limgrave and what's the name of the magical area? I've already forgotten. And of course, I did like the capital city. But after you get through those areas, right? I felt like it was just kind of too redone, especially that whole final third of the game in the frozen area at the Land of the Giants. I didn't like that at all, okay? My favorite part was going into a dungeon that felt like it was Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Those were my favorite parts. They were hand curated by the developers of the game to be interesting, challenging experiences. I loved those. Give me more legacy dungeons, give me less open world, and give me less of the very randomly generated boring dungeons, right? They're not randomly generated, but they're ones that are very repetitive and boring, the ones that look like the crypts or the caves or whatever. I didn't really like those. Give me the legacy dungeons. And Miyazaki outright said, there's a lot of these legacy dungeons in the DLC. You are preaching to the choir now, like that's exactly what I wanted. So now I'm even more pumped for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC when it comes in June. Like, I feel like this is a feature of my year now. It went from being, okay, I'm interested, but I wonder what it's going to be, to, wow, now I'm actually really excited, okay? But again, why are people coming to my podcast telling me I'm misrepresenting the game, I'm hating on the game, this is a hot take for clickbait views, and leaving dozens of negative comments, voting the video down? And I'm like, what is happening? You tell me. It's nonsense, all right? And at least I'm happy now that we can talk about it today and actually talk about more of the positives about the DLC because I'm excited for it. But why does it have to be the result of a bunch of people coming and crapping all over me? Because you know what it is? Now there's another 500 to 1,000 people who hate me on the internet. Right? They outright think I'm a jerk because I crapped all over Elden Ring. They didn't even bother to watch my podcast and see what I said. Someone told them I said it, linked it, and they just went right to the video and left a nasty comment. What kind of a mentality is that? What kind of a person can you be to judge someone before you've even said what they've said? You didn't even bother to click play to see what was said in the podcast, because there's no way you could watch that segment and come out of the other side of that podcast thinking that I hate Elden Ring and I'm crapping all over it for clickbait. It was not even present in the video at all, right? So anyway, I got it out of the way. Listen, I'm excited for the Elden Ring DLC. Really, I like all the additional information. 10 new bosses, that's a ton. 8 new weapons. I'm sure in those 8 weapons, there'll be 1 or 2 I want to try, so I might respec during the DLC and try them. That's awesome. Legacy dungeons are right up my alley. And if you remember Limgrave, that's the starting area of Elden Ring. That's the main area. There's 2 southern island areas to it that are optional, right? To the east, you go further and you get towards Caleb, but that's still considered Limgrave. And then there's the entire castle. That's at least, at a minimum, 20 hours of content, just the overworld. Now, if you're talking, there's dungeons and things in there. Remember, there's the underground well, right? There's that. And if there's more of those, just think about that. This is probably going to be 40 hours. That's great then. If it really is $1 an hour, I'm okay with that. Give me 40 hours of content for the $40 DLC price. I'll be very pleased. So, to me, everything is sounding great about this to me. Like, I really am excited and I cannot wait.
Well, if you're happy at getting like $1 an hour for content, then why does Baldur's Gate 3 upset you so much? That's like you're getting more hours per dollar for Baldur's Gate 3, and yet you've been complaining about the length of the game.
I now feel like, I now really feel like we're going to be in a situation where this is a feature of the year. Coming back to Elden Ring in May to continue my magic run. Not necessarily finishing, because do we really need to go back to the Hallig Tree and do that with the magic run? We don't really need to. We can if we want to, but for us, it's just getting all the other content done and getting to the Blood Palace and beating Moog, which is going to be a challenge in itself. Doing all that with the magic run is really the focus. So doing that by, say, the end to mid-June, and then the DLC coming out June 21st, you know I'm all about it, right? So very excited for that, and I hope that you guys will join me for that fun later in the year, all right? But as for these people who are misinformed, all I can say is, please do more research before you come crap on someone. Like, I'm literally, of course, my first reaction is, oh, this is just a bunch of trolls. But then as I start to read more of the comments, I realize it's not. These are people who actually really like Elden Ring, and they're pissed at me for something I didn't do. Nothing I ever said. I'm really head-scratching. Like, why would you be so adamant to jump down someone's throat and defend something when you don't even know what they said? You just immediately go into defense mode before even watching the podcast you're commenting on. That's pretty insane.
And yet, he claims he didn't watch Tucky Tom's videos, and yet had a fucking lot of things to say about that. So it's perfectly fine for Phil to shit all over Tucky Tom and all the content he makes about Phil, and, so yeah, double standards as per usual.
Anyway, that's the case. That's what happened. That's out of the way. All right. Wednesday was a great streaming day. Great progress in Baldur's Gate 3. We'll pick up with that today. And the night stream was Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. We did a ton of side questing, a lot of fun stuff there. Continuing on with that later in the week. Really nothing to recap that much from Wednesday because it was just a solid streaming day of RPG stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to game news, before we get to the schedule, I think it's time for us to do a little segment that I like to call Phil's Day Off. Let's talk about what I did yesterday on my day off, shall we? Because we actually have some interesting and positive updates to give you guys, all right? First of all, yesterday was a very busy day where I was absolutely running around doing errands all day long, okay? As you can see, I got a haircut was one of the errands that I did out of many. We had to restock the house because we had actually been out of a lot of commodity products, like paper products and things like that, so we had to go like Costco and many other things. So we were out and about for a very large portion of the day. And it was tiring to do that, but the weather was nice. It was actually sunny and cool, so we had some good weather for it. While we were out, is there anything notable to really mention from when we were out? Just a couple of things. First thing, we just happened to be at the local mall because we were going to actually eat dinner there, and we happened to just walk into Sears. Okay.
Remember, he was absolutely desperate for some financial contributions because tips have massively, not tips have slowed down, but he got far less money for his YouTube side of things. But yeah, of course, they're going to have their customary 2 meals out per day off.
Okay, now for those who don't know, Sears, or Sears Roebuck and Company, is one of the longest running department stores in the United States of America. At one point, they were huge. They were synonymous with like the big shopping experiences in the United States. You had Sears, you had Macy's, those kind of ginormous department stores. And some people in chat, very rightly so, are saying, Sears is still open? Yes and no. Okay? Yes and no. Right? Basically, Sears is on its way out and going out of business. All right? But there's 3 locations left, and my local mall has one of them. So my wife and I hadn't been in Sears in like a couple of years, actually. I think last time we were in Sears, I think we were looking for slippers for me in like the fall because my slippers had worn out, and we know that department stores are sometimes places that seasonally have them, and we had gone in there. And even then, like 2 years ago when we had gone in there, they were massively understaffed. They barely had, the product was very disorganized, right? The store was in shambles. So we go in there just on a whim to see what is Sears like today. Wow. is all I have to say. So we go into the Sears, and at the door is exercise equipment. Now, this doesn't make sense. This is the ground level of the mall, where any department store on ground level is supposed to have all their clothing and everything, you know, their high-end products. You walk in, it's just a bunch of exercise equipment. Huh? And then we look past that, and there's appliances. But then we look past that, and there's one row of shoes. And then we look over here, and there's some clothes. And then over here, we see jewelry. On the back wall, we see tool chests. We're like, what? Like, what is going on? So we actually walk further into the store, and we realize half the store is closed off, roped off, and completely empty. They used to have a big shoe department in the back. It's gone. They've blocked the entire department off. It doesn't exist anymore. The whole left-hand side of the store is taped off with that yellow hazard tape saying, do not cross. And we're like, holy shit. The whole kiosk where you used to check out and customer service removed from the store doesn't exist anymore. Okay? Like, wow, what on earth? So we're like, well, I wonder what's on the other floors. We walk up to the escalator. The escalator up is closed, broken, and they're not going to fix it. The only way to get from floor to floor in the store is to use an old rickety elevator. And I was like, well, I would like to use the rickety elevator.
But I have Kat with me and it won't support her weight.
But Kat actually looked at it and was like, I really don't want to use it.
I wonder why. Yeah, smart move, Kat. Yeah, that's actually one of the smarter things that Kat can fucking say.
I was like, really? She's like, yeah, I'm actually terrified that elevator is going to break on the way up or down because the way this store looks, like it looks like this is a store on life support. Like it's going to die any second. And I don't want to go in there and be the story on the news that people got stuck in this year's elevator. And I was like, all right, well, I guess we won't then. Because I wanted to actually see if there was stuff on the other floor. Because the thing is, if clothes, shoes, tool chests, appliances, and exercise equipment are all on one floor, what else could be in there? I know that they have like housewares and like bedding. So that's what I was thinking. Like maybe there's housewares, bedding, and maybe like underwear and stuff like on one other floor. And that's it. There used to be 3 floors. Sears used to be like the one-stop shop. Back in the day, they had everything. I mean, anything you could think of for your house was at Sears. Even electronics. They would sell electronics, games, consoles, stuff like that. Music systems, TVs, you know, all the appliances in your home. Yeah, the tools and stuff like that. Housewares. You can buy all your stuff, your kitchen in there. Everything for your bathroom in there, your bedding, everything. Like, they literally had everything in there. Lawnmowers, yeah. They had everything you could think of. It was everything at Sears. Big, prominent company. And they somehow managed to run themselves so far into the ground, they're not coming back. I mean, that was like, it literally reminds you of like going to like a hospital, right? And going to see people who sadly are on the end of their life and they're on life support, just sitting there saying their last goodbyes to people. That's what it feels like walking into the Sears. I was like, oh my God. Like, I can't.
Phil, how would you know what the fuck that feels like? Who in the fuck have you ever fucking had to say goodbye to in a fucking hospital? I can't think of a single fucking person that exists in Phil's fucking life, or did exist in Phil's fucking life, that he's had to fucking say goodbye to in a fucking hospital. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, I cannot. Is he just fucking imagining what it's fucking like? Pretending he fucking knows what it fucking feels like? Because if he's fucking pretending, which I think he has no earthly clue what that fucking feels like. And no, Chori Tent, not his gouty aunt, because Phil was living fucking renting at the time. Remember, he was renting his old Connecticut Snortfort to his aunt. So when she passed on, Phil stayed put. You know, he didn't fucking fly back for a fucking funeral. He was just sad that, you know, he couldn't get any more rent money from her because the selfish fucker died.
Can't believe it, because again, I go to Sears my whole life. When I was growing up, I would go to Sears with my parents, and it was a vibrant store full of stuff. I was like, what the fuck happened? How did they fall that far? They used to have the Sears Wish Book. Does anyone remember the Sears Wish Book at all?
Nope.
This used to be at the end of the year. Sears would send out a catalog to your house, and it would have all the awesome products that were available for sale at Sears in one thing where it listed them all. And the whole purpose of this catalog was that you and your family members would go through the catalog and select things you're interested in as a Christmas present. So you would give it to your family members, but also other people in your family would do it, and you would exchange wish lists. They had to call it the Wish Book wish list. I did it every year. So my mom would give me the wish book and say, well, anything in here you like for Christmas? I was like, I want this action figure. I'd be interested in this game. Now the thing was, you didn't know half the time what the stuff was. It was like some photographer would come in and like film the action figures posing and stuff. And the games, forget it. I actually distinctly remember games would have the wrong screenshots. It would be like, oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it would be a screenshot of like Mega Man. I was like, what the hell is that? So obviously they didn't have the best editors or whatever. People weren't into all the stuff they were selling. But they had everything. They had like, again, things that you would not think. Guns. There were guns in that. There were, you know, knives, like things that kids shouldn't see, were all in this wish book. It was just for the whole family. Everyone would select what they want for Christmas, and you could either mail order it or you could go to the physical Sears store near you and buy it as a Christmas present. This was part of Americana. This was a major part of American culture, a tradition everyone was doing around Christmas every year. And now Sears is dead. It's like, how do you go from being that prominent, that you're actually a part of most people's American Christmas lives and traditions, to not existing in the span of like 30 years? That's wild to me. Like, what a horrible mismanagement. If anything, it just shows they did not know how to hang with the internet age. As soon as the internet came out and everyone started doing stuff online, they just, that was the end of that. But anyway, so that was eye-opening and shocking for us to see that. For dinner, we had some ramen. We hadn't had ramen in a really long time, so we each got a bowl of ramen. I got they call it rich chicken ramen, I think it was called.
Oh my god, every time I fucking hear Phil talk about ramen, I just think of Dark Side of Flow's original banger of a tune, you know, like, what's the fucking thing called? It's one of my favourite fucking Detractor songs as well, and I can't mind the fucking title of it. Because the song ends, bowl of ramen, with all the things that Phil has to buy. Randomly thrown in there, a bowl of ramen. My bills, exactly, my bills, that's the fucking song. You listen to the end of fucking that song, Phil's listing off all the things he has to fucking buy, and just randomly thrown in there out of fucking nowhere as a bowl of ramen, that Phil says.
So the broth was a lot more savory, and it had amazingly delicious dark meat chicken pieces in it. It was ridiculously good. That's probably, out of all the ramen that I've had since I lived out here in the last 10 years, that was probably the best one. So I'm probably going to continue to get that style of ramen in the future. I always used to get like the one that has a slice of pork in it, which is fine, but this chicken was super outstanding how delicious it was. It really absorbed the flavors of the broth of the ramen. So probably going to get that. No, not because this is a gourmet restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants out here that do ramen because where we live is just outside of Seattle in Washington State. This is a hotbed of Asian culture in the United States. All the Asian cultures, when they come to the US, they come through our local airport because we're the closest to Asia. So a lot of them just stayed here. They came and said, we're just going to settle here. So we've got all these different kinds of Asian cuisines and things, you know, Vietnamese, Filipino, Chinese, Japanese, Indian, you know, all those are right here. And
it's amazing. It still amazes me that he fucking ended up living there, considering his fucking sheer dislike of Asians.
We have a few really good ramen places to go to, and we just happened to have an amazing one yesterday. It was so good. The only other thing really of note while we were out, we saw not one, not two, but 3 different car accidents. And that's like unprecedented. Like maybe every once in a while around here we'll see like one. One person looked like they had completely driven off the road into a ditch. I don't know why, because there was no accident. They had just driven off the road into a ditch. And so the cops showed up with a tow truck to try to get their car out, but their car was really like wedged in. I was like, dude, I don't know how they're gonna get that out in one piece. That thing's probably gonna fall apart. And then going one way down this road, when we were leaving our house, we actually saw someone rear-ended someone else. And then when we were coming back the other way, we saw that someone had also rear-ended someone else on the other side of the street. Like, what happened?
It was probably the same fucking accident, you know, but Phil was just too dumb to realize it.
Here, I don't know what happened, because it wasn't like you would think, oh, was it like a rainy day, a bad weather day? It was pure sun all day. So I have no clue. Something was in the air. People were paying attention for some reason.
Anybody care what this guy thinks?
No! There was tons of car accidents. But outside of that, when we got home, and we had unpacked a million things we had shopped for, like at Costco and everything. Basically, my wife is looking for another game to play because the next game she wants to play is Dragon's Dogma 2. And so a game just hit Game Pass. I don't know if you guys are aware. Tales of Arise just hit Game Pass. So she actually tried it for a couple of hours. She's not in love with it, but she doesn't hate it either. One of the annoying things is that it has this new mechanic called like cure points, and it's so odd. Just listen to this. It's an RPG, typical dungeon crawler style RPG, but it's action-based combat rather than turn-based. You use these cure points to, number one, cure party members in combat. Makes sense. But you also use cure points to put out fires to access alternate parts of the dungeon with treasure and stuff in it. What? Why? And how does that make any sense in any kind of an RPG perspective? You're using your cure points that you should be using to heal your party members to put out a fire to get an optional chest. And then the problem is if you do that, now you have less cure points to heal your party members, and when you're out, you're literally out. You have to get through the rest of the dungeon without being able to cure in combat until you get to a point in the game where they'll give it back to you. You don't restore cure points by leveling up. So you can level up 5 times in the dungeon and you still can't cure during combat. You can cure out of combat if you use items, but you can only use those out of combat, supposedly. From what I've seen, anyway. Maybe I'm wrong and you can't use them during combat, but from what I saw, you can only use them out of combat. So I'm just kind of like scratching my head. Is it like, doesn't that take the fun out of the RPG dungeon crawling? Like the whole point of a dungeon is you explore it fully, you fight all the enemies, but if you do that, you run out of cure points, now you can't cure. How are you supposed to keep exploring? How are you supposed to complete the dungeon if you can't cure your party members? Why did they make it like that? It just seems like a really unnecessary, annoying thing they put in the game to make it artificially harder, when in reality it's not tougher, it's just really fucking stupid and annoying. I was scratching my head about it. She basically got all the way up to that first boss, Ballsack. That's his name. His name's like Lord Ballsack or something like that. And she tried fighting him a few times, but he was like one-shotting her companion. And so she's thinking she's gonna go back and grind a little more and then go back to him and try again. Luckily, right outside of his boss room, there was a full restore point, and I think you could go back and go grind in the dungeon against the other enemies before you go fight him again. So I think that's what she's gonna do. But anyway, like, let me put it this way. It wasn't bad, but it really wasn't anything to write home about. What game is this? Tales of Arise. It reminded me of the old Tales games. Like, I played Tales of Vesperia back in the day a ton, and it definitely reminded me of that, just with some weird changes that felt like it wasn't as good. Like, it actually felt like more annoying to me watching her play this game. I was like, this doesn't feel as good as Tales of Vesperia because of these annoying changes they made to the formula. But anyway, you can restore items. You can use items in combat. Oh, so we didn't even see that as a menu option. You can restore CP in and out of combat with items. Well, she doesn't have it. Like, we checked, she has a bunch of HP restoring items. I don't think she had any CP restoring items. So I don't know what you're supposed to do there. I just don't understand why you're using your cure points to put out a fire to explore the dungeon. What the fuck is that? You ever played any game where it's like, oh, you want to explore the dungeon? Use all your MP to do it. Huh? Who made that? Like, who thought of that, right? Anyway. So, basically, that was what we did today. We kind of hung out. are playing that together. I think, the other part of the Phil's Day Off segment. So this is kind of cool. So, as you guys know, my wife and I have done some co-op recently, right? We actually played the Dondoko Island sim game in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth for about 5 hours together. And we did what we wanted to do with it, luckily. We got the money we needed. I'm good now for the rest of the playthrough. We don't have to go back to it. Quite frankly, it wasn't as fun as we thought it was going to be, so we're done with that. So we've been looking into a couple of things.
Phil, quick question. How come when your wife played it, she thought it was so much fun that she completed the entire fucking island and got to like 5 stars and all that jazz? But when she played it with you, it wasn't fun whatsoever, and she walked the fuck out of your stream.
First of all, we're trying to find some other games. We're trying to find some other games to play together for co-op. And we looked into a few that you guys suggested. The first one that many people were suggesting is this game called Overcooked. All right? And
come on, it's a slam dunk. Phil, you two played together. Same console, just 2 controllers with you side by side trying to fucking team up and cook. That is a slam dunk of a successful fucking playthrough. That would do well for you, Phil. Now, how are you going to justify not playing Overcooked?
So we looked into it. We actually watched a group of people playing it together. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It doesn't look very good to us. Like, Overcooked...
Oh my fucking god, you boring fucking cunt.
...is a game where you play as chefs, or sous chefs, and you're in this little mini kitchen, and essentially the entire game feels like a mini game, where what you're doing is grabbing ingredients, chopping them up, cooking them, combining them into a dish, and then serving said dish, taking the dirty dish back, washing it, wash, rinse, repeat, and everyone is working together co-op in order to do this. So we watched actually people doing it 4-player, okay? And basically, the first time, like the first stage, you're like, oh, this is interesting. The second stage, like, oh, it's the same ingredients with one extra ingredient, so it's a little bit more complex, and now the stage is moving around, okay? So it's a little bit more elaborate. So we fast forward a few videos. Okay, instead of making soup, now they're making a burger, so it's now a 4-ingredient dish instead of 2, and the stage is moving around a little more. Like, we kept fast forwarding, and every time we watch it, we're like, all right, it's boring. I'm sorry. Like, if you're playing with a group of people and the whole thing is it's micromanagement, it's co-op gameplay, you're probably riveted because you need to be paying attention at every moment to pass the stages. To watch, it is so fucking boring.
But, Phil, you'd have fun playing it with your... Isn't the whole point trying to find a fun game for you both to play together? Like, I have played Overcooked before with my own partner, my own fiance, and, you know, we loved playing that game. It was fun. It's a simple little game, but it's fun to play it together. It's a simple game. It's fun to play it together. And basically, Phil's opinion is...
Fuck you and your friends.
Just because it's a fun game to play together with other fucking people. That's his fucking taking it seems. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, Phil. This game would actually fucking be a fun thing to watch you two play together. And you're like, I don't think it looks good. It's fucking basic. It's like, it involves doing chores. I don't like to fucking be the one to cook and clean up. That's Cat's job. And by the way, I still think my stream elements is busted, so Ira sent a super chat. I don't know why it's not playing, but I'll show it now there. So thank you, Ira, for a super chat. It says, Cat got offended by a wheelchair raccoon, that's why. Oh god. I forgot there's a character in Overcooked with a raccoon in a wheelchair. Yeah, those raccoon eyes. Oh god. I completely forgot about that character. Oh yeah, that's potentially why. Yeah, that's quite potentially why the Cat's like, no. Okay, keep in mind, we don't know what Cat thinks about the game. We only have Phil's word about the game.
Yes! Get on with it!
I didn't mean to press that, but it kind of fits in this context. Anyway, let's get on with Bingo.
There's really nothing going on. It's just a bunch of little guys going, put together, do this, okay, there's no time to talk. There's no time to like have any conversation or elaborate. There's nothing really fun about the gameplay. It's more like rush, get it out.
Well, how about this? It's like fucking 3-minute rounds or thereabouts, you know? So you fucking do a round together, you talk to each other and try and fucking help each other complete the fucking orders, and then at the end of each round, you can then talk to each other and think, well, you know, how could we have done better there, honey, whatever, and what did you think of this thing, and what did you think of this? Phil is legitimately shooting himself in his gout-ridden foot by ignoring this easy slam dunk of a fucking game to play with his fucking significant other on stream. This is why he's a fucking failure. This is why we mock him. This would do well for him, I feel. He would generally get good support for us, I feel. And it would be kind of entertaining to watch.
That's it. That's the whole game. And we even fast forwarded to almost the whole, fast forwarding through almost to the end of the first game, because this Overcooked game came out with a collection recently that's 1 and 2 together. And so I do it and I'm like, it just doesn't look that good at all. It's really, like, I could say this is the kind of game, right, that if you're playing it and you're engrossed with it with your co-op partners, it's probably fun to play. This is not a game that's fun to watch. And we were outsiders, never having seen the game before. Watching people play it, we were bored to tears. We were like, wow, talk about a game that's fun to play, not to watch. This is exactly the definition of that, okay? In addition, The game absolutely looks like a game for 4 players because the dishes are so complex that you would need to actually have, like, 2 people have to be grabbing the ingredients, preparing them, shoving them off to the next area. Then the next group of people...
So let me challenge you straight away. There is balance to the game. So, how they cater around this, if only 2 players are playing, I mean, as a game made for up to 4 players, but 2 players can definitely play the game as well, because they lower the goals, essentially. If you've got 4 players playing, you're going to have to like fucking get a certain amount of points to fucking complete a level and move on. If there's only 2 of you, that goal target is lowered to cater for the fact that there's only fucking 2 of you fucking playing it. So Phil's talking out his arse here. You probably get the most out of it by being 4 player, I would imagine. It's probably the most fun with 4 players altogether. But I feel that it's certainly it's good enough to play with 2 players as well, for sure. It is not a debilitating experience by any means by playing it 2 players. It's still fun as all hell.
Cook and serve, and then someone's the person who's the runner who grabs the dishes, washes them, and gets them back to the beginning. Like, you need to have set people doing each task. If you only have 2 people, now you have to do so much, it's probably way harder, and it wouldn't even be fun. So, we did look into it. We thought maybe it would be good. It does not look fun. It looks very, very boring to watch. We were bored to tears watching it. So we can imagine our audience checking it out. Now, if this were something that was on Game Pass, we would have considered it. It's not. It's $40, and we're like, dropping $40 for...
Are you seriously fucking saying it's $40 fucking dollars? I seen it on Steam the other fucking day for like 10 fucking quid. They were selling Overcooked 2 on Steam the other day for fucking £7. Is Phil only checking like the Xbox Marketplace or something, where digital games are always so fucking much pricier? $40. I'm calling shenanigans on that. I'm pressing X to doubt that. Oh my fucking god.
Something we were bored watching for like 25 minutes is not going to be worth it. So I think that this Overcooked game is just, it's not in consideration. It just doesn't look very good. Okay. We're looking at other stuff. One of the considerations is that Sackboy game that came out at the launch of PS5. If you remember at the time I skipped it, it was $70 at launch, and I said, there is no effing way I'm paying $70 for any kind of a Sackboy platformer. Essentially, it should have been Little Big Planet 4, but they never made Little Big Planet 4. They just called it this instead because it was a different company that made this. So, the way I see it, maybe we'll eventually do that because it is a co-op action platformer style game. That's a possibility. Not sure yet about that. We're looking into it. But there are other things we're looking into as well. But nothing really has honestly jumped out at us yet. We're looking, and nothing is like, is this going to be fun to play, but also fun for an audience to watch? It seems like there's some games that would be fun for us to play, but it would not be fun to watch because the games are boring. Then there's some things, right, that maybe you guys would be more interested in seeing us do, but we're not interested in doing them. Like we keep telling you guys, we're not interested in that It Takes Two game. We're just not, okay? And I'm just going to say this because some people have completely the wrong mentality about this. Kat is my wife. For her to come in here and do some nice co-op stuff with us is just a nice added bonus. She wants to add to our experience together. You know, you guys as an audience, me as a broadcaster, a content creator, correct?
That's not why she's fucking there, though. The whole point of you fucking dragging her big beefy ass onto your fucking streams is to try and get some more money than usual from your fucking dent heads because fucking support is slowed down for you, particularly in the fucking night streams. You're just looking for a way to try and monetize your fucking fat ass wife so you can get as many dollars from your dent heads as fucking possible. That is literally the whole entire point of you dragging her big fucking beefy ass to streams.
Kat is not an employee. She's not forced to come in here to earn a paycheck and to play something she doesn't like.
Are you saying that you are? Are you trying to imply that's what you are? That you're forced to go in there and play games you don't like? So that sounds to me like that's what you're implying here, Phil. You know, Kat doesn't have to fucking face the burdens you fucking face of playing games you don't like. Sitting in there and you don't want to fucking sit in there. Let's remind us again and get the full context of the fucking rant.
She wants to add to our experience together. You know, you guys as an audience, me as a broadcaster, a content creator, correct? Kat is not an employee. She's not forced to come in here to earn a paycheck and to play something she doesn't like or that we're not going to have fun doing just to pump out video content for you as a product to make money. That's not the point of her coming in here. Do you understand? And I think some people are very much misunderstanding that. They're saying, well, why do you need to like what you're playing? Just get her butt in there and do co-op and pump out the videos like everyone else on the internet. You missed the point. I'm not like everyone else on the internet. I'm not forcing myself to do shit to make a paycheck. The point is the love of gaming, doing things that are meaningful, things that we're going to enjoy and have a great experience together that you can remember because it wasn't just us pumping out a fucking video to make money. You understand that? I could have been doing that for years, playing every little viral game, doing every little thing. That's the opposite of the mentality of me making content, and certainly it's the opposite of her coming in here to do any kind of content with me. She has no desire to just force herself to come. I mean, there's millions of games we could play right now co-op that we wouldn't be interested in. We'd be bored with within like a couple of hours, and yeah, we could force ourselves to do it, but you're not going to see us happy. You're going to see us kind of annoyed, right? Is that what you want? Annoyance in a video because we're playing something we don't like? I mean, what's the point of that? We're not going to be in here like happy actors. Oh, every game we play is so cheery and great because we love all games because we're pumping out fake content for you, so you'll give us money. We're not doing that. Do you see? We're trying to make real content. So understand, if we're going to make content together, it has to be something we're really interested in. All right? We're not interested in half the games that are from the past co-op games that people are all. It Takes Two, not really interested. Sorry. You know, maybe years ago it would have been, but you know, it's today now, and we're just not interested in that. Okay, so we're gonna continue to look for stuff to do, and we're gonna give you updates on it when we find things. But you have to understand that. And I'm gonna say something very honestly now, and if you take offense, I can't help it. If you think you are entitled to have my wife come in here and make co-op content with me, right, and you're upset that she's not just gonna come in here and play anything she doesn't like, you're pretty fucked up in the head. People on the internet are not just entitled to make the content you want immediately, whether or not they're enjoying themselves. That's ridiculous. Some of the comments I've seen on videos, just fucking make content, shut up. Be grateful anyone wants to see your content. Well, yeah, but I want to make content that we like. Again, Kat is not an employee. Do you understand that? She's not getting a paid employee. She's not coming in here earning a paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? You want to know an honest difference? Here's the difference. John Rambo technically was a paid employee. Back in the day when I used to do co-op with him, even if we played games we didn't really like and we were suffering through them, it's because we were making money doing it.
So let's fucking, no, Phil, context is important. Remember, Phil doesn't like fucking things taken out of context. Is this Phil admitting he had to fucking pay for a friend? Not quite. Rambo was like living like 50 to 100 miles away or some push. Rambo had to fucking travel 2 hours to Phil and 2 hours back home. Rambo needed fuel money to fucking visit Phil. He lived 2 hours away. And Phil wanted to keep making content because, as you know, I said, that's how I make money. So John Rambo, the goodness of his fucking heart, kept going and going and going, and it eventually got to the point where he's like, I'm going to need to fucking get, you know, this has cost me a lot of money to keep driving through here, Phil. And they're like, fucking great, we'll I'll throw you some from money then. And remember, Phil admitted that he didn't pay Rambo more than he probably should have. Like, Rambo suggested a figure, that figure was lower than what Phil was thinking he was going to say, and instead of Phil offering the counter figure to make it higher, Phil's like, okay, fine then. That's the sort of person Phil Burnell is. John Rambo was his friend. He was going to give John Rambo more money to fucking keep coming through to see him for fuel money and all that shit, and food costs as well and all that shit, because also he had to fucking eat dinner at some point. And instead of, like, you know, giving him the money that Phil thought he was going to ask for, Phil settled for the lower figure that John Rambo initially suggested and threw out there. Some friend, eh? So there's your fucking context, Phil. Yeah, I paid John Rambo, he was an employee. You basically had to, like, he would not have been able to fucking be a part of your content had you not given him the fucking money for fuel and food, because he was there all fucking day filming for you and your channel.
Literally was someone who came to my place every week and received pay for what he was doing. He was not my wife. That's a very different experience, do you understand? So that's why I think people are thinking, we used to do co-op 10 years ago and used to play every horrible game. So why don't you just do that now with your wife? Because that's not the point. That's not why we want to do it. It's different. It's a different experience. Do you understand? And I hope that you get that. All right, I really do. But some people don't. They just pump out the content. Well, no, we're gonna make it make sense. All right, we're gonna make it so that when we finally get to the point where we're gonna do co-op again of something we both want to play, hopefully it's something that we're enjoying, you're enjoying watching us play. Also, hopefully there's some kind of an aspect where we can interact with you guys. Like that Overcooked game, there would be no time we could talk with you guys. That entire game is 100% must be micromanaged, must be played every moment, focus on the game. That's how it is. It's like this crazy, you know, attention-centric game where you need to every moment be doing something right. If you flub one thing, you fail, right?
No, fucking 3-minute rounds. Talk in between rounds or something. I mean, if you fucking complete a level, great. Talk about the level. Talk to your chat. See what they fucking thought. Well, they fucking. This is not a non-stop game. Overcooked is a very stop-start game. When you're playing it, yes, it's quite fucking hectic. But they're like 3-minute rounds, and then you can fucking take a breather and discuss the round and like how things went right or wrong.
So that's really not the kind of game that I feel is gonna work. All right. So. All right, Ad the Gamer, I've had enough of you. Really, I've had enough of you and your toxic attitude. So if you want to apologize to me later, you can come back. But for now, just leave and don't come back. Okay. So that's the deal with that. Now, there is a positive update. All right. Since the time when we did our Dondoko Island co-op, one of the problems that we ran into.
I'm curious. What did they fucking say? What was his name again? What was the guy's name?
So, all right, Ad the Gamer, I've had enough of you. Really,
Added Gamer. Okay, so we're going to go back to 24 minutes. Added Gamer. Let's see what he said. Let's have a quick explore on Raw Phil, okay? And by raw file, I mean like the detractor raw file. And we're going back 24 minutes. And here we go. Let's see, so go back with 24 minutes. So I've got a stream here. Here we go. We're on raw file. And we're looking for a guy called Added Gamer.
Back in the day when I used to do co-op with him, even if we played games we didn't really like and we were suffering through them, because we were making money doing it. He literally was someone who came to my place every week and received pay for what he was doing. He was not my wife. That everyone want to do it. They do. But some people don't. They just.
So hold on. What is he? What is this guy? What did he say his name was again? Added Gamer. Or Avid Gamer or something. What is he? Ah, there he is there. Why are you talking to the chat like they are children? Just pick a game and play it. This was the comment that triggered Phil so tremendously. This comment right here by Add the Gamer. So why are you talking to the chat like they're children? Just pick a game and play it, and Phil's like, fuck you, you Argentinian member. You're not real. Come back later on, apologise if you want. Oh god, and Phil saw that comment and leaned it. But that's the type of person he is. Hey, I'm so yeah. By the way, in case people are wondering why I didn't show otters yet, they were cleaning the pool and they're in the process, I believe, of getting the water filled back up properly. I don't think there's enough water in there yet. They're still filling it back up, I think. The otters should be here by the end of the bingo, but they were cleaning the pool beforehand, so yeah, we're just waiting for the otters to be released again back into the water, I guess. But yeah, so let's get back to the bingo. Yeah, so that's the context of that leaning ban. For anyone who's curious, I was certainly curious. I had to find out what was said. And yeah, don't talk to the audience like children. Phil's like, ban that ass or time out that person. Apologise later. I'm just waiting for Phil to fucking, you know, offer the fucking spoon.
I'm sorry?
Had enough of you and your toxic attitude. So if you want to apologize to me later, you can come back, but for now, just leave and don't come back. Okay. So, that's the deal with that. Now, there is a positive update, all right? Since the time when we did our Dondoko Island co-op, one of the problems that we ran into was the audio, and what I mean by that is, basically, I have one pair of neck phones. By the way, this is the new pair of neck phones. I should call this out. I did buy a replacement pair of neck phones. If you remember, these were breaking in January. I had them for about 2.5 years, and they were not charging anymore. So I bought a new pair, and this is the...
You kept that fucking quiet. Is this the first time that Phil was like admitting to, like, oh, by the way, brand new fucking neck phones? I got, you know... But I don't think, yeah. All of a sudden, yeah, exactly, guy. We have the money for that. He's broke as hell. He doesn't know how he's going to fucking pay his bills. I'm just going to buy this fancy new fucking gadget. Steve Dead is asking how did he break him in just 2 years. He gave him to Kat once, probably, and she broke him because she's the fucking destroyer of all fucking things.
Replacement pair. I've been using them for a couple of weeks now. I've completely forgotten to mention that. So this is a new pair of Hori neck phones, okay? So when Kat was in here to do that co-op, she was using these neck phones. I was actually really enjoying them. She was like, wow, they're comfy, they sound pretty good. So she was using them while I didn't have any audio, okay? So basically we were looking for a solution, and after having seen that, a fan contacted us and said, I liked your co-op in Dondoko. It's a shame you didn't both have the audio. I'd like to fix that.
And they just ran with fucks off.
So unprompted, unasked for, a fan got us another pair of neck phones. So now when we go to play our co-op, whatever it may be in the future, because we don't know what the next co-op will be, we're each going to have a pair of neck phones.
We're going to have matching toilet seats round our fucking necks. And of course, Kat's going to get the extra wide version to fit her fucking many chins in.
Which is really cool, okay? So there you go. Why not buy an aux splitter? We did buy an aux splitter. You just stop talking out of your butt. These people, I swear to God. You weren't here for the stream, were you? We had an aux splitter. My wife has earbuds. She put in the earbuds, but they're noise-canceling earbuds. She couldn't hear anything. She's like, well, this doesn't work, and we don't have another pair of headphones.
So you're mocking your chat when your dumbass wife came in with noise-canceling earphones on a co-op stream, which wasn't really co-op, and you didn't think to yourselves, what do the words noise-canceling mean? But you're mocking your chat for suggesting something daft. Okay.
House that would work with the aux splitter. Now we do. So now we'll each have a pair of these to wear when we do content moving forward, okay? Pretty cool. So thank you to the fan who donated that. You know who you are. You didn't ask for a shout out. I'm assuming you probably don't want the public attention because of trolling. But thank you so much. So now we have an extra pair, and when we do co-op again, and here's the other cool thing. Even though we're not going to be doing co-op all the time, I now have a backup pair of neck phones. So if these break in a year or two, I'll have a backup pair as well.
I'm going to just assume this right now. I'm going to assume Phil bought it and is fucking pretending that a fan fucking donated it, so nobody fucking asks him where the fucking money came from. The most plausible explanation to this is simply that Phil bought them.
So this is incredibly useful. Thank you so much to the fan who donated those. And now I knocked my receiver off of the table. Put that back up there. Okay. Not really a receiver, it's more of a decoder. A surround sound Dolby decoder for my headphones. So, okay. So there you go. So that's what's going on the Phil's Day Off, because they showed up yesterday. So that's why I wanted to add that to that segment, because actually they showed up yesterday. And that's very much appreciated to the person who donated those. Thank you so much. So now, essentially, we're good to go with the entirety of co-op. We just have to find something.
Oh, that was prayer hands. That was definitely a prayer hands.
Burger. 5 in a row. That's concerning. Want to play? But like the audio, we kind of figured out, put the microphone between us. We got the different pop guards so we can see the chat. We'll each have neck phones so we can both hear. We got the audio splitter. We just got to find a game now, and that's what we're working on.
So here are the fucking requirements for them to play a game together on stream together. The game has to be fun for them to play. The game has to be fun for them, for other people to watch. It doesn't matter how entertaining the two of them are. That is not a prerequisite. All that matters is they have fun and the audience have fun. That's literally it. Fucking heaven forbid that, you know, it being on fucking Cat and Phil to try and entertain people without a fucking video game to fucking do it for them.
Okay, so now, let's briefly go through the schedule for the week, and then we'll go right into gaming news. Because we have some gaming news to cover today outside of the Elden Ring DLC. There's a few other things that actually happened during my day off to talk about. Fair enough? Okay, schedule-wise. Today, I'm back from break, obviously. Act 3 of Baldur's Gate 3 continues. We have just arrived essentially at Baldur's Gate. Like, we're right outside of Baldur's Gate. And so, I'm excited to get inside of Baldur's Gate, but of course, there's apparently other quests to do as well. So here's the thing. People were telling me, if you're going to do this part of the game, you need to have Jaheira and Will in your party. You've got two critical things coming up that are going to determine what's going to happen in Baldur's Gate, like, right away. These missions. So you should have these characters in your party. So I put them into the party, but when I did that, of course, I haven't used Jaheira at all, and I haven't used some of these characters in a while. So I just rushed through a build with Jaheira, and people were like, oh, make her a dual-class barbarian and all of this. So I did, but we didn't use her yet, right? So we finished our stream, and immediately I get flooded with comments. What are you, crazy? You made Jaheira a barbarian? What are you, stupid? You gotta fix that. So actually, someone sent me a really detailed, like, build that we can do. And that's cool. A big detailed build, and I think we're gonna do first thing today is respec Jaheira to be this detailed build.
So I guess Phil Burnell is the only person on the entire fucking internet that is doing a co-op stream of Baldur's Gate 3. Remember, Phil's definition of what co-op was basically if one person's, you know, playing the game and you have other people telling you how to fucking do things in the game, that's essentially co-op. So Phil, every single game Phil plays on YouTube is essentially a co-op game. Because the chat is always holding his hand and telling him how to play the fucking game.
I'm not sure what it is. I think it is a druid build. I don't know how to respec. If you guys can tell me how to respec a character, I would love to do that. But yeah, like I should be able to respec her, and then she'll be playable, and then we'll continue on with the Act 3 stuff today on stream. Okay? Tonight on the late stream, it's Friday Night Fights, more Tekken 8, and more Casey Mitsu, or the Casey Jones version of Yotsumitsu that I created on Monday. You know, I really like Tekken, and I am disappointed because I like it so much, I want to play it more. I'm craving it during the week, and I'm only playing it twice a week. And it is disappointing to me. I wish that you guys liked it more. I wish that it had caught on like Street Fighter 6 did. It totally hasn't now.
So Phil, here's a clear example of the audience not enjoying Tekken. You just said yourself that it's important that the audience are enjoying the fucking games you're fucking playing. And yet you persist on playing Tekken. And fucking forced it into your audience, down your audience's fucking throats when they clearly have no desire for more Tekken. You want to keep playing Tekken, you play it in your own fucking time, Phil, but don't fucking force your audience to watch it when they clearly have no desire to. You continue to play Tekken just completely contradicts your fucking previous argument of, I want to make content that's fun for my audience to watch. Phil, nobody in your chat wants to watch play Tekken. They would rather watch you do Q&A for 2 hours and play Tekken. Does that not tell you something, Phil?
At this point, I'm lucky to get viewers on it at all. Some of the streams, like Friday Night Fights usually does okay, but some of the other streams are dead. And it's like, wow, like you guys really aren't into Tekken at all, which is crazy. I love this game. I'm actually liking it more and more the more I play it. And I wish I could play more of it. Although, again, it's hilarious because as I told you, I get comments on videos. I swear to God, I got a comment on a video the other day. It was like 5 paragraphs, and it was something to this effect. I'll paraphrase. Man, you really got to get better at Tekken. You suck. You're not implementing side steps all the time and not using sidestep counters to interact with this and that. Man, you're barely parrying and you're not parrying and doing this. You don't even know how to break throws and this and that and this and that. And basically, it's like 5 paragraphs of harsh criticism of how my gameplay of Tekken 8 sucks, right?
Come the fuck
and it's
in
funny.
and fuck the fuck off.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, I'm first of all, I'm quite pleased that all of a sudden alerts are working again. I don't know why the previous super chats didn't play. It should have fucking played, but it stopped playing. But yeah, big up to King Be Cruel, former DSP member who got leaned by Phil and was told to grab a spoon and all jazz. But he become a bingo baddie, so there we go. Thank you very much, King Be Cruel, for joining being a member and all shit. I won't lean you. Don't worry. You know, I mean, I'm pretty fucking chill when it comes to members or whatever. You know, I mean, I'm just happy for fucking anyone. Doesn't matter if your money comes from Argentina, or fucking, you know, America or whatever. You know, I mean, I'm just happy to fucking have people enjoying and support and all that jazz. But yeah, because you became a member, of course, we're going to have to fucking play spoons.
Spoons, eh?
I'm sorry?
There we go. Anyway, in case people are wondering where that's from, John Cleese, Faulty Tower. Faulty Tower. Faulty Towers. Fuck me, man. Butchering all sorts of words today.
Because I'm like watching my gameplay. Like, so every time I play this game, I win more than I lose. Every time I play this game, I'm improving my gameplay with whatever character I'm using. I literally am playing this game 4 hours a week. 4 hours a week, okay? Anyone who actually is trying to get good at Tekken.
And I need to see if that's a potential screenshot. Hold on. Him holding his hand like that, you know, like he's a fucking discount Etsy.com version of Booker T.
4 hours.
Hold on. Can you tip me, sucker? Let's see if we can get it. Hold on. I also thank you guys for liking the stream. 100 likes, fantastic. Let me see if I can get a good freeze frame of this shit. Okay, hold on. That might be the best I get. That might be the best we can get from this. Hold on a second. I don't know. I seen Phil do this, and in my first thought, in my dumbass adult mind, was just, you know, Booker T. Phil holding his hands as well. Okay, so let's see. Fantastic stuff, and there we go. Let me just yeet that to my members in the Discord, and they can, their imaginations can run wild. And I see Ash has joined my members Discord, so big ups to them, and Tacozilla. So earlier on, Phil made this face, okay? So it's important to understand, to explain the context. Phil made his face earlier on tonight. I screenshotted it, you know, like this, and threw it in my members Discord. Tacozilla saw this and decided to get creative. Behold. So yeah, Tacozilla, with her artistic style genius, has turned Phil into a drunken clown. Impressive. There we go. Ah, Jesus Christ, man. Oh, buddy. Anyway, so it's so yeah, anyway, of course, before we even continue, before we do anything else, guys, we have a free space, our first free space of the game. Thanks to you guys liking the stream. We have 100 likes, we have a free space, but not only do we have that, we also get to enjoy the balls animation that the extremely talented Pixar animations made for us all to enjoy to celebrate 100 likes. Remember, keep an eye on the bottom right for Jasper, Agent 2KJ. Good cat. But there we go, our first free space of the game. 5 snorts away from a second free space, 6 burps away from a free space as well. The car's doing quite well, and there's apparently plenty more to go. Like, Phil's still doing a podcast even now, like as I speak. So he's usually done roughly by now, and we're about 27 minutes behind Phil. There's plenty to go, put it that way. We still have like 30 minutes at the very least, you know, on more Phil, you know what I mean? So there's plenty of time for us to get a full house.
Okay? Anyone who actually is trying to get good at Tekken focuses on this game like 40 hours a week. Like, seriously, they say pro players, like, you gotta play at least 5 hours a day in order to maintain the skill level that you're at, right? I'm playing it 4 hours a week, you know, and I'm just trying to get better at it with the little time that I have. I'm studying, I'm watching matchup videos. Like, I actually watched 2 high-ranked Yoshimitsu's play last night, and I learned a couple interesting things that I'm going to try to implement in my gameplay today that I think might be pretty neat. I don't know if I'll be able to. One of them is that when you're near the wall, you can do a different combo that actually pins them against the wall and gives you a little bit more, like, wall crush damage, which is kind of interesting. So I might try that, or other variations, like things like a stance change that's quick and seems to catch people. So I might try a couple of those things today. I don't know how effective I'll be, but, you know, I'm literally trying to study or everything. You know what I'm saying? So... And I read the comments, I'm like, so these, not to say that what they're criticizing me for isn't valid. I would argue they're right. If you get really good at sidestepping and implementing sidesteps into your gameplay, you're going to be better. If you learn how to counter the throws and break them easily, that's going to make you better. But the things they're recommending are for someone who's like playing Tekken 8 every day and striving to improve to go, you know what the big goal is for everyone now? The blue ranks. Because the blue ranks are, I think, the highest ranks before like God tier.
So let me get it straight, Phil. You're watching pro-level gameplay to try and learn how to get better at the game, but when people are suggesting you pro-level techniques in the comments and calling you out for it, you're saying that's not fair. Why don't you just accept your level then and stop watching pro-level players? Since, you know, the strats for them are above your fucking skill.
I think it goes like red, I think it's like red, black, blue, or it's like red, purple, black, blue, yellow, or something like that. Like that's the progression of colors in their online rankings. And so I'm in like barely red. I think some of the characters I'm not even in red yet, right? Some I'm in red, some I'm not. So I'm way below any level where I'd be implementing like high-end tactics and things. The things they're recommending are for someone like they're growing for blue. I'm pushing for blue, so I should be implementing the sidesteps and this and the text and this and that. I'm not even to that level. I'm trying to learn basics, right? With the characters I'm using. And the stuff they're recommending is like, so how did you not master the fill? I mean, it's funny. Here, this is the best part. Okay, you can look at the numbers on my videos. I have played a grand total of 22 hours of online multiplayer of Tekken since it came out. Tekken 8, 22 hours. Now I want you to think about that. If you were a pro playing 5 hours a day, you would have done that in 4 days. Tekken 8 has been out for a month. Well, almost a month. We're coming up on the month, right? So I've played essentially less than a third as much as the pros who are actually trying to get good at the game, but you're going to yell at me and tell me that my gameplay sucks because I'm not implementing the top strategies of pro players to Tekken. Right? I just don't know where people come with these criticisms, right? For the most part, I love Tekken 8. I want to play more of it. I wish to play more of it to get better at it. I hope that I will. I just don't get to play enough of it. Like tonight, I'm going to play about 2.5 hours of Yoshimitsu. I feel like I'll have great matches and get better. I'll probably have some tough matches. Right now, my problem is lack of character knowledge. Like, I'm fighting a Jin, and I go to sidestep, and he does the Wind God Dragon Fist thing, and it hits me. But I sidestep, and then I see in the comments, oh, you were supposed to sidestep left, not right, and you were supposed to also sidestep walk. That's how you avoid it. How the hell would I know that? That's like a textbook study answer, right? Like, that's something in school that, like, someone tells you must memorize this answer. Right? That's not even something you would just casually discover in gameplay. You would need to know that ahead of time to implement it. So that's the kind of stuff, like, I don't know what half of the moves are anymore with these characters. I just, you know, I'm fighting a Raven. He's teleporting all over the screen. I've never seen these moves. I don't know if it's a high, a low, a throw, a counter. I don't know what any of this is. So I'm just kind of like flipping my way through it, trying to get better. And I want to keep playing it. I hope you'll join me tonight for it. I'm sad that I don't play it as much as Street Fighter 6 because I like it on that level right now. I really do. Maybe in a few months I won't. But at this point, I really do like it as much as Street Fighter 6. And honestly, I'm happy I'm taking a break. I feel like if I was still playing Street Fighter 6, I'd be burnt out. Because a lot of people are saying, well, you're going to play Ed in Street Fighter 6? No. I really don't want to. I played the game so much, I'm burnt out on it, and I don't really want to go back to that only a month away from it, go back to it again, to get into it again and be I don't. I would rather play Tekken right now. But I know sadly that's not really resonating with most of my audience, you know, and that's sad. So we're going to play it tonight. Hopefully I'll get better with Casey Mitsu, and it should be a good time. If you want to come by, please check out my gameplay of Tekken 8 tonight, okay? Tomorrow is going to be more Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth on the late stream. Sunday is React Day, where it's all reacting. The day stream is DSP versus the internet on DSP Reacts, and the night stream will be Retro Replay on DSP Throwback. And at this point, I do think it's time to officially announce our pick for what it will be Sunday night. And quite frankly, there's really no chance at this point. Heavy Rain is in the lead at 42%. The runner-up is Bully with only 29%. We're not going to see a shift in voting in 2 days. So we're doing more Heavy Rain on Sunday night. Last time around, we had just met Noam and Jaden, who was doing the AR investigation on the Wasteland, and we'll continue with that and go from there. So that should be a fun place to pick up from where we had left off last time. So that'll be a fun Sunday night. And then Monday will be Tekken 8. Yes, that's my other Tekken 8 stream for the week. And then Monday night will be more Like a Dragon. And then Tuesday, Baldur's Gate 3 and Like a Dragon. So if you do some math here, today, Saturday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, today, Saturday, and Tuesday, all Baldur's Gate 3. We got another 9 hours of Baldur's Gate 3 coming this week. By the end of this week, it'll be 100 hours of Baldur's Gate.
That doesn't sound like much fucking variety. Mr. Variety content creator.
Yeah, we'll be over 100 hours into the playthrough. We've also got Saturday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Like a Dragon. It's another 6 hours or more of Like a Dragon. And it's all going to be side questing and story developments. I'm not doing grinding. So we're going to basically be doing lots of advancement in that game. This is my goal, is to get as much advanced in both of these games by the end of this week before Final Fantasy VII comes out. Because I'm off on Wednesday, and then that Thursday the 29th, all day long Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then you're going to see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as the mainstream most days. Maybe one day a week we'll do Baldur's Gate 3 for variety, and I'll announce that ahead of time, so those of you who are fans of Baldur's
Hold on.
as the mainstream most days, maybe one day a week we'll do Baldur's Gate 3 for variety, and I'll...
Maybe we'll do Baldur's Gate 3 for variety. The bitch has spent 100 hours playing the fucking thing, and he's claiming that he'll play it for variety. It's the only thing he's fucking playing.
Burger. 5 in a row. That's concerning.
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's just... It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense.
Announce that ahead of time, so those of you who are fans of Baldur's Gate will come by for those streams. But it's going to mostly be Final Fantasy VII right now. Okay, just to forewarn everybody. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit of time for news. Let's jump into it quickly. No, it's not that I missed a tip. I don't shout out contributions till the end of the podcast. Because someone said I tipped, you didn't shout it out. I shout out all contributions at the very tail end. So, let me get through the news and then we'll get to that segment, okay? And thank you for the support. News story number 1.
I love how the very last thing Phil thought to say was, oh, let me just, condescendingly say, no, this is how it fucking works on my stream. Oh, wait, I better fucking... Yeah, by the way, thanks for your fucking money, you dumb bastard. Now the news.
Mortal Kombat 1 is finally getting cross-play next week. Mortal Kombat 1, which came out in September, is now over 6 months old, has lost about 87% of its player base, is now getting crossplay. Huh? If ever you heard something that was too little too late, I think that would be it. Like, what the hell were they thinking, waiting over 6 months to add a feature they promised would release around launch? They said it's coming around launch. 6 months later? So they also, hand in hand with this announcement, dropped the Peacemaker DLC trailer, which shows John Cena as Peacemaker. I hate the John Cena Peacemaker character. I think it's stupid. I think it's just John Cena in cosplay. I don't see him even as a defined character with a personality. And I saw both the Suicide Squad reboot movie as well as the entire Peacemaker series, and I still don't like the character. It looks terrible, honestly. He's kind of crappy animations, honestly. I am not going back to Mortal Kombat 1 to play with Peacemaker. I'm certainly not going back to Mortal Kombat 1 to play crossplay. The game doesn't play well without crossplay. The connections are awful. Usually the average connection is 80 to 100 milliseconds, which is unplayable online for this game. And now they're going to do crossplay. Like, what a joke. If you're interested in Mortal Kombat, congrats if you want to do crossplay. For me, this is a huge non-announcement and a waste of everybody's time. What a shame, because Mortal Kombat at one point was the top premier fighting game in my opinion. Like that whole Mortal Kombat trilogy of 9, 10, and 11, they were very prominent, and they really dropped the ball, and they are third place behind Street Fighter and Tekken right now for sure. For sure. Next story. Pal World, which I know we haven't talked about now in a couple of weeks because I stopped playing it after 11 hours, has now reached 25 million players. 15 million players bought the game on Steam. 10 million players are playing the game on Xbox, although it's not clear-cut if it's people who bought it or people just playing it on Game Pass, right? 25 million. Yikes. That's so many. Now listen, again, I get the appeal of the...
I cannot resist anymore. He keeps saying million. It's an interesting fucking number. Please forgive me.
Jesus!
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, 6 million. 6 million. That's a pretty interesting number, isn't it? 6 million. Well, guess what? You're wrong. It didn't happen. You're making it up, right? You make that shit up. No, how about this? Banned. Gone forever. Because I don't put up with your fucking bullshit.
Now that was good. Now that was a fucking good one.
The bar's being raised.
So in between that, randomly, Logan K sent a super chat, which kind of, and it kind of added to the short, it kind of added a little random bit of extra to the short. So thank you very much, Logan K, for the super chat. It says it took DSP 5 years to get a ring light. Too little, too late, eh? Go laugh. Exactly. Phil is, of all the people who talk about fucking too little, too late, the guy that adopted direct capture far later than all his fucking contemporaries. The guy that fucking doesn't even understand what a fucking noise gate is on his fucking, you know, microphone and all that shit. The guy that doesn't even update his computer. He's still on like OBS fucking version like 8 or something. Studio mode apparently does not exist on Phil's OBS. That's why you see him fucking do things live when he's when he's setting the stream up and the stream's live and he has to add a graphic. You get to watch him add the fucking graphic. Studio mode does not exist for him apparently, so you can't just fucking do it sneakily on the fly without alerting anyone. There we go. Jesus Christ. That's Steve's fucking saying he missed a fucking short. It'd be a shame if the fucking thing repeated then.
Jesus!
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, 6 million. 6 million. That's a pretty interesting number, isn't it? 6 million. Well, guess what? You're wrong. It didn't happen. You're making it up, right? You make that shit up. No, how about this? Banned. Gone forever. Because I don't put up with your fucking bullshit.
Now that was good. Now that was a fucking good one.
The bar's being raised.
There we fucking go. There we go. Play. That was a Steve. I missed it the first time. And to her, Steve. I mean, it's a brilliant clip. Brilliant clip made by Actoff Pigler. You know, but obviously Steve's reaction to that just fucking sells it. I swear he fucking injured his back got fucked up even more listening to that. He just fucking disappeared from the fucking camera just because he's fucking laughing too much. But yeah. But yeah, in case people are wondering, in case Steve's wondering why I'm playing that all of a sudden, Phil won't stop fucking mentioning the word millions. Let me rewind it for full context, but yeah, he won't stop fucking mentioning millions.
15 million players bought the game on Steam. 10 million players are playing the game on Xbox, although it's not clear cut if it's people who bought it or people just playing it on Game Pass, right? 25 million. Yikes. That's so many. Now listen, again, I get the appeal of the game. I played it for 11 hours. I get it. Personally, I found myself getting bored once we hit the gameplay loop of exactly what it would be. Again, like I said, if you play it with friends, it's probably way more fun. But as for me, these survival games don't last long anyway. I do lose interest in them. So, it is what it is. But wow, what an achievement for an indie studio pumping out a game like that and getting that much popularity. The final news story I want to cover today actually surprised me and could actually, in my opinion, change things. Are you ready for this? I don't know if you heard this one. Supposedly, PC support for the PlayStation VR 2 is coming by the end of this year. I'm going to repeat what I just said. If you buy a PlayStation VR 2, which right now currently only works with PS5, by the end of the year, it's supposed to work on PC. So you understand what that means? That means you'll be able to play PC VR games on the PSVR 2. So I have a question. If you have a console, right, is it a no-brainer to just buy this device? And also, if you're looking for the absolute most versatile VR device, does it not make sense to buy the PSVR 2? Because you're going to be able to play all the Sony exclusive VR games from PlayStation 5 and also all PC VR games on this thing too. Or am I misunderstanding it? Because the news stories aren't clear, and that's what's kind of pissing me off. I couldn't figure this out. If you could play everything on it, that sounds to me like this is the killer device, right? But I don't know how it really works. Some people are saying, no, I'm misunderstanding the situation. Okay, so how am I misunderstanding? Because I want to report the correct information.
So, Phil, isn't that your job to figure out the correct information before you report it? Don't you always complain about other people doing that? Didn't you bitch and whine and moan and complain about people reporting on the Xbox thing when there was rumours flying around about what was happening with them? And you were fucking having to go at all these fucking gaming media journalists and all that shit for talking about it and making clickbait titles and there's all. But here you are, spouting shit you don't understand and talking about it without understanding the full facts. So, you know, one rule for thee, another for re.
What is the truth of the situation so we can report this fairly? Because for me, if you're saying, why would it be a big deal for it to work with PC if you can't play PC games, is my question. Playcool says, most PS5 VR games suck for me. MetaQuest 3 plays all my VR library on Steam and has more features than PSVR 2. Dean Richard says, PSVR 2 headset will allow you to play Steam VR. Okay, well that's what I'm saying. It'll let you play PC games on it, right? Excuse me.
Bruh.
But you can't use... So, okay, I'm getting the full story. I'm glad. So here's how it works. If you have a PSVR 2 and you plug it into your PC, you can play all PC-oriented VR games on Steam. If you plug it into your PS5, you can play all the PS5-centric VR games on that console, but there's no crossover. So if you own a PSVR 2 and you want to play all the games, you have to own both a PS5 and a PC. That makes sense. To me, though, that's the killer device then, right? Like, if I want to play the best of VR, I want a PSVR 2. Because if I get a MetaQuest, I can only play games on PC. If I get well, previously it would have been, if you get PSVR 2, you can only play the PlayStation, but now it sounds like since you can do both, why wouldn't you want the one that does both? Right? Am I misunderstanding that? Like, I would want the PSVR 2. Immediately, this would devalue the other devices, because what if you eventually get a PS5? You'll already have a VR device that works with it. Right? So to me, I think this sounds like a great idea and a great value. I think that Sony's doing the right thing here, because spending $600 for a VR device that's limited to games only on PS5 sounds terrible. There's way more VR games on PC than there are for console, so it makes sense to have this expensive device working with those games. So let me get this straight. You would be able to play Half-Life Alyx on your PSVR 2 on your PC, correct? That's it then. That's the device. If I was to choose, I would get PSVR 2 for sure. 100%. I'd be buying that. So that's my take. You could disagree, and if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments of the video. Please don't roast my testicles like the people about the fucking Elden Ring DLC who are all wrong. But if I'm saying things wrong here, please correct me. But for me, like, that sounds to me like that's the VR headset you want, the one that does everything. It does the best of both worlds, correct? Like, why wouldn't you want it?
Fuck you, Phil!
Makes sense. Okay. So anyway, cool. That's the news. Now it's time to get ready to do shoutouts, and then
So the news was Phil asking his audience to please give him the correct version of the news, since he couldn't really be arsed to try and understand it better himself. The news was, chat, please tell me what the news is.
Get ready for Baldur's Gate 3. We got a lot to get to here today. All right.
This is worse than the time when there's a famous like fucking thing from like the BBC in like the 1960s or something, or they had a thing where they had a news segment, but they didn't actually have any news to go on, so they literally reported no news that day. Like the one time ever is like there is actually no news to report today, and like I can't mind exactly how it panned out. Even that is a better fucking news story than Phil's fucking news segments.
So, let's start on the YouTube side of things. We start off today with Evoker to the Face, who became a member this morning. Now, I think this might have been a re-upping. Maybe it wasn't. It might have been a legit new membership. Thank you, Evoker to the Face. If that's the case, I appreciate that. Oops, let me get out of the news screen. Sorry about that. And thank you, Broadway Trey, who also became a member this morning. I'd also like to say thank you to Lucifer Soul, who re-upped their membership for 9 months at the super supporter level. And says, if you have 5 lit candles at night and a wind blew 2 of them out, how many would you be able to relight on the next day? All of them. There's no reason you can't relight a candle on the next day. Unless a candle completely melts and it won't relight at all. But there's no way to gauge if that's going to happen or not unless you know the specific length of each candle and the rate at which they burn. So honestly, there's no proper way to actually answer this question. You don't know how many candles will blow out overnight. You can easily blow them out yourself and relight them. You don't know if a candle will melt all the way. So it's a bad question. Sorry about that, Lice for Soul. You failed. Okay, continuing on. Okay, let's get to the tips.
I love it. So he thinks he's like the smartest person on the entire planet right now for how he answered that fucking question. Like the smugness is fucking pouring out his fucking veins right now. They're emitting from every pore in his fucking greasy ass head. And basically all I fucking heard was essentially,
God, it's like you just use words you hear randomly to try and sound smarter.
Side of things this morning, shall we? So we start off today with a $1 tip. Now I'm just going to say this. I can neither confirm nor deny the things that people tell me in tips. I just read them. All right? Just to let you know, Phil, Rich has gone full damage. He's fired his editor on his birthday. His true colors have leaked in messages. You were right, Phil. Karma's a bitch, and he got his.
Phil didn't need to address that. Most times he would ignore those kind of fucking messages and just move on. He doesn't want to deal with drama. Here he is, actively, willingly engaging in drama involving another lolcow, although I maintain that Rich is not really a fucking lolcow, not enough of one enemy. Phil is a far bigger lolcow, Boogie's a far bigger lolcow, Wings is a far bigger lolcow, Cobra's a fucking bigger lolcow. Rich is like lolcow light, in my opinion. Like he's not prominent. He wants to be a big lolcow. Don't get me wrong. Rich would like to be a prominent lolcow, but he's not quite there. You know, he's not got the credibility to be a lolcow. He's not good enough for a lolcow podcast, for example. I mean, but he's doing his best though. He's working hard to try and get more lolcowish. That's the impression I get from fucking Rich anyway. So Phil could have ignored this and said, I don't want to talk about other fucking people, I don't want to engage in the drama. But here he is, happily and willingly fucking diving headfirst into it, just so he can fucking shit over Rich. Let's get a full context and see his reaction.
With a $1 tip. Now I'm just going to say this. I can neither confirm nor deny the things that people tell me in tips. I just read them. All right? Just to let you know, Phil, Rich has gone full damage. He's fired his editor on his birthday. His true colors have leaked in messages. You were right, Phil. Karma's a bitch, and he got his. How am I supposed to respond to this exactly? I'm actually wondering, like, what is the response that I'm supposed to give to that tip? Honestly, like, I think people want. Here's what I think people want to hear from me, and then I'm going to actually give you my real response. I think what people want to hear from me is, oh, thank goodness that horrible things are happening to people who've been horrible to me, because karma's a bitch and what comes around goes around, and if you've treated me like crap over the years, wow, I'm so happy that people are having misfortunes, right? Okay, that's not my actual response. My response is, I don't care. I actually don't wish ill will against anyone. Even people who I feel really have hurt me over the years and said really awful things about me in general, I don't wish ill will to them at all. I mean, I'm even being serious here. To people like Tevin, to people like Keemstar, people like Memology or Duty Streams or whoever these people are. Yes, to the side scrollers in their podcast who really screwed me over last year. All these people who over the years have treated me poorly, okay? I don't wish ill will on any of them. I want them to be happy to the point where they don't have to be toxic and negative about people to get any kind of positivity out of it. Do you understand?
Phil, you kind of wish that all detractors would fucking die. You kind of wish genocide against detractors because we fucking are critics of you. You wish we'd all fucking disappear from the fucking planet. This is not an old meme I'm referencing. You have referenced this very fucking thing as recently as a month ago. Wishing we were just fucking all disappear.
Like, if anything, the one thing that I would wish for Rich is that he can find something he truly loves to do, he's successful at it, and he doesn't have to have toxicity and negativity around him all day. He doesn't have to make fun of people. He doesn't have to do bad, negative things. I can't imagine living in that life situation where your whole day is going online and talking about drama and trying to bring up drama and razzing people with negative memes and things. Like, that would drive me nuts. I would lose my mind legit and say I hate my job and never want to go back to it ever again. That's the truth. So I would hope that these people who have done awful things to me could find a way out of the ruts that they're in their lives and actually be able to move on to positive things. I don't want to hear, oh, did you hear that Rich's business is falling apart and everyone doesn't like him now? No, and I don't care, and I don't want to hear that. That's sad to me. Like, that actually makes me feel bad. Because
if you didn't care, you wouldn't have fucking mentioned it in the fucking first place. Also, what horrible things did fucking Rich do to you? He offered to give you a fucking PC, but then he had the fucking audacity to mention publicly that he was talking to you about giving you a PC for your business, and that pissed you off because he fucking opened his fucking mouth and mentioned that, which would fucking hurt you and you're begging.
I want people to be happy. Really. I don't want to hear, oh, all these things are going awful. You know what I mean? And now he's falling apart. That's terrible, right? The guy's a family. He needs money to support his family. You don't want to hear that he's falling apart at the seams. That's awful.
Yo, Phil.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up!
No, I'm not going to respond in some negative way. I wish the guy the best, even though I know he doesn't have any good intentions for me. I wish him the best, and I hope that things get better for him. I'm sorry to hear that things aren't going bad. Okay? And here's a second tip. I guess it's from the same person. Another $1 tip. You outlasted them all. R.I.P. to Review Tech USA. Perseverance and hard work go a long way. Please stop with this mentality, really. If you want to celebrate...
Phil, you created the mentality. You literally fucking championed this sort of mentality. Anytime fucking something happened to him. When Machinima fucking died, you fucking had a whole entire marathon reaction stream about it. You dance in the fucking graves of people you fucking outlast that might have wronged you along the fucking way at some point in time, even if you're in cahoots with them at a fucking time for a long fucking time. You done it to fucking John and fucking Howard. You done it to fucking Machinima. You've done it to plenty of others as well, Phil. And now you're complaining that someone's using the thing that you do and make it make sense. So make it make sense.
The fact that I'm still here. Okay? Good. But don't say you're still here and everyone else is failing. I don't like that. If you want to celebrate my perseverance, that's one thing. That's a positive. Someone's positive perseverance. Not, haha, you're persevering and everyone else is failing. Just cut out the second half. That everyone else is failing. I don't want to hear about other people failing. That's sad to me. I don't want to think about that. You understand? Okay? Fair enough? Okay. So no, I'm not celebrating that someone's having a rough time who hasn't been nice to me, because I'm not that kind of person. I don't want to be that kind of person. I got better things to do with my time than to revel in the misfortunes of others, which is sad because that's pretty much the entirety of what a lot of people put out for content.
And you monetize that for your own personal gain. You benefited from that financially, and you addressed it on your show even though you said you weren't interested. You could have just ignored it. Straight up, you could have just said, look, I'm not interested in talking about it, but thank you for the tip. That's all you had to do. Instead, you chose to address it so you could fucking, grandstand and, stand in a little soapbox and benefit financially from it. And of course, you talking about it publicly like this, it's just going to generate more drama and interest and probably a response from Rich and all that shit.
Okay. I received a $30 tip. Wow, that's a very generous tip. Says, I've been a longtime fan of yours since Fallout 3. I never get to check out your streams. Says, I do overnights now. Really looking forward to your playthrough of Rebirth. I'm insanely excited for the game. Yeah, I think
so. A $30 tip, but no name apparently. And of course, that means one thing. I held off playing the whale noise because I didn't want to interrupt the fucking message in the tip. But yeah. A big ass whale tip, and it's not from 1 minute, man.
it's going to be great. Now, here's the thing. The reviews are out. The reviews are saying it's insanely good. It's the highest rated Final Fantasy game since Final Fantasy 9, which is great. But sadly, there's spoilers all over the internet. Don't read them. So luckily, I haven't been spoiled yet, but I get the feeling I'm going to. Like, it's almost like inevitable, right? I'm going to be spoiled. I've already been spoiled on a stupid fan service, really cringy moment in the game that I'm not going to talk about until we actually play it. But I think those moments are going to be in it, like they're doing.
Oh, come on. Come on, Phil. Just say her name. Say her name. Oh, come on. That is... Does he know that our center square is Tifa? Come on, Phil. You son of a bitch. Are we going to be denied our center square because Phil refused to fucking name her? It's like, nah, he has to say it though. He has to say it.
It on purpose to give fan service to people who've wanted these things for like 40 years or whatever, how long it is, right? 30 years. You know, these people who just can't control themselves, quite frankly. But anyway, yeah, luckily I stayed away for now, but just to forewarn everyone, you know the entire internet now is going to be rampant because everyone put out the reviews, people have already spoiling the plot. So do your best. Do your best to stay away, but you got to see what happens, all right? Well, I'm excited for it. I am very excited for the game. Okay. Okay, we've got a $5 tip. Can you wish a happy birthday to my friend Timmons? Thank you so much. Okay, well, happy birthday to Timmons. I hope you have a good day. And thank you very much to this anonymous tipper for a $5 tip. Oops. There we go. Let's see here. Kirk is suggesting A Way Out as a co-op game. It's a great story, a lot of interesting stuff when you explore the boundaries of the map and interactable things. We've heard about A Way Out. Is that not the prison escape game, right? From many years ago now at this point. It's been out for a while. It's something to consider. I don't know if Cat's interested in it or not, but thank you for that. Thank you for the suggestion. Here we go. And I received another $1 tip from Kirk. Good for you, Phil. As Elon Musk says, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. I don't pay attention to anything Elon Musk says on principle. I like to retain brain cells, not lose them. But I thank you for the $1 tip regardless, Kirk. Okay. Okay, hold on a second here.
I cannot for the life of me understand why he has not banned him from getting tips from him. He knows Canadian Kirk is a flat-out fucking full-blown racist piece of shit. And he's kind of like, you know, mildly fucking threatened him. I'm going to ban this account if you come back on a sock account, and you better behave yourself on that sock account. But he's willing to take money from this person. I guess racists are fucking sticking together.
I just gotta clean this up so I can see what I'm looking at. Okay, I received a $25 tip. A 1 Minute Man, he says, you did not go to a fireworks shop. You went to a toy maker's basement. You can cast guidance on a companion not having failed a perception check. That could have saved you 1 hour of aimless exploration last time. You can cast guidance on a companion not having failed a perception check. But I thought the point was we thought all the companions had failed the perception checks. So we needed to take new companions in with us to redo the check. I'm confused about what you're saying there. Transforming into a harmless animal makes it possible to explore without triggering a fight. Finally, you better get ready to cover your eyes. Oh boy, is there going to be nudity or something stupid today? Well, how do you know that? Like, what are we even doing today? I don't even know what we're doing today. Anyway, alright, well, thank you, 1 Minute Man, for all of that. I don't really understand what you mean about the guidance. If you wanted to clarify at some point, I'd appreciate that. Because are you saying that you could cast guidance and it gives you another chance at a perception check? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying you have to find someone who didn't have the check and then cast guidance on them and maybe improves their perception? That's what I'm trying to hammer in what you mean. Again, you're probably one of those is correct, and I'm just being such a noob to this series, I just don't understand it. So there you go.
So yeah, you better send another $25 tip. You know, in written in crayon this time, so Phil and his tiny fucking brain can comprehend the big words.
What else? I received a $20 tip. I'm on a media blackout till Rebirth comes out. Stupid people post spoilers anywhere they get the chance. Oh, I'm sure they're everywhere. I guarantee you the Rebirth spoilers are absolutely everywhere on the internet right now. Cheers, Phil. I'm gonna head to sleep. Hope you to catch your Rebirth streams when they're on. All right, sounds good. See you in a week. A week of hibernation. Thank you for the support today, and I'm on the same boat as you, but I guarantee, sadly, here's the thing, when you're someone like me, you're just gonna be spoiled. Like, I already know it. Like, I already know that, you know, I'm gonna be spoiled no matter what. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just gonna happen. There's too many avenues to be spoiled, so it's life, right? It just kind of happened. Let's see here. Blackjack Yak 54 became a member this morning. Thank you, Blackjack Yak.
Say her fucking name, Phil. Say
Dr.
Tifa.
Oink did a super chat and says, been playing Steve Tech 8. Game seems unbalanced. What the hell is that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Anyway, thanks, Dr. Oink. I don't know if that's a reference to something or if there actually is a game called that and he's playing it. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a character called Steve in Tekken 8. How can Phil... Oh my god. He is such a fucking buffoon.
Abu says the playthrough's going to take you months. Actually, I don't think so. You want to know why? We're talking about Final Fantasy VII. First week, I'm playing it 17 hours. On launch day, I'm playing 5 or more. Friday, I'm playing 3. Saturday, I'm playing 3. Monday, I'm playing 3. Tuesday, I'm playing 3. The only day I'm not going to play Final Fantasy VII next week is Wednesday. I'm going to do 1 Baldur's Gate 3 stream for the week, so at least I got the playthrough keep going. But I'm going heavy in to Final Fantasy VII next week. Yeah. Basically every daytime stream except Reality Day, or React Day. So,
Reality Day.
I want to play the hell out of it to get a good chunk into it next week, to get people engaged and really expecting it every day. Hopefully, here's what I'm really hoping. If I play a ton of it the first week, people will get used to me playing it and want to see more and get hooked and be engaged. I'm nervous if I don't play it enough that first week, people are going to think, oh, he's only going to play it like twice a week, and then they're not going to be interested. So I'm going to play a lot of it that first launch week, and hopefully that hooks people, much like it hooked people for Baldur's Gate, and we'll get a good crowd every day for it, I hope. Okay? Cool. Alright, guys, so... Oh, you're playing Steve in Tekken 8. That's what he meant to say. Oh, Dr. Oink says he's playing Steve in Tekken 8, and the game seems...
I'm pretty sure that was a super chat message as well. So Dr. Oink sent 2 super chats, and I believe that second super chat was basically to clarify what this first super chat was all about. I guess technically this is Phil being very smart. So Phil is like, he has like the cunning of a con man to finesse dollars from these debt heads. He'll pretend to not understand. Like he done it with 1 Minute Man. I can't really fully understand what you mean by what you said. Can you please like elaborate and let me know? Send in a fucking contribution so I can get more money so I can go, oh no, I get it, fuck off. He's a greedy bastard, but it works in his dumbass audience.
Unbalanced. You know, I can't attest to that. I wish I could. I can't. I'm not good enough at the game to attest to it yet. Like, in Street Fighter 6, you could immediately tell within a few weeks Ken was ridiculous. But now I would actually argue that other characters like Juri, JP, DJ, Luke to some extent, Guile, hell, even Chun-Li. Like, there's a lot of characters that are just way top tier, and then there's like a big gap, and then there's like mid tier, and then there's like bottom tier. So, but with Tekken, I don't know yet.
Did he just omit Blanca, who's like one of the strongest characters in the game?
DJ, Luke to some extent, Guile, hell, even Chun-Li. Like, there's a lot of characters that are just way top tier, and then there's like...
but he ignored Blanca, who's like won tournaments. I mean, is he not top tier? Some people are saying Blanca's not top tier. I thought people were crushing some tournaments with Blanca because he's, you know, some of his moves are quite overpowered. I know nothing in the game. Again, I'm just going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to fucking pretend to be an authority in it, but I thought he was quite top tier, at least from what I understood, because when people won tournaments with him and all that shit, and done quite well with him. But again, my knowledge is very limited in fighting games.
A big gap, and then there's like mid tier, and then there's like bottom tier. So, but with Tekken, I don't know yet. I would say right now the Mishimas seem ridiculously powerful with their options, mix-ups, counter hits, and just so many things they can do in every situation, while other characters are way more limited than that. And definitely for me, my weakness is lack of character knowledge with these characters that can constantly just attack, and don't really have openings. But very well, there could be ways around that stuff that I don't understand, and that's on me because I don't play the game enough, right? So I can't really answer to the level of competitiveness of Tekken 8. I would be completely ignorant. Okay. Blackjack Yak just did a super chat. He says, you know, I should have become a member of yours a long time ago. You've handled the review tech drama situation with maturity. Again, I didn't even know that there's a review tech drama situation until the tip this morning. I don't pay attention to any of this, nor do I care. You're a good man and a great example to others. All right, thank you, Blackjack Yak. Well, the only thing that I will say about this, and this is not personally towards Rich or anyone, but here's what I really don't get. So I'll be on a stream talking very normally about a topic, and somehow it gets skewed into drama, and now it's drama for everyone for like a week, and everyone's talking about it. I'm like, but what are you even talking about? There was like no drama. Like, just perfect example, the whole Elden Ring DLC situation from Wednesday, where literally I said nothing negative, and somehow people think it was negative, and sent people, they misposted it, misrepresented me, and now it's drama, right? There's other content creators who constantly have drama stuff happen, and no one ever covers it like that. Ever. Right? Like every once in a while, someone tries to get me to hear, did you hear about the drama about Wings? Did you hear about the drama about Review Tech? Did you hear about the drama about this guy or that guy? And I'm like, no, I don't pay attention, but the stuff that it sounds like that's going on with them is way more drama, or you would think that would hook people and people would be all over that shit, right? But they're not. They're just not. But if it's me, if I fart on stream, it's like, oh my God, did you hear that Phil dropped a nuclear bomb on his stream? Right? Like, no, I farted. It's a normal thing that people do. You know, it's a natural occurrence. It's unfortunate when it happens. It smells, but it happens. But
well, at least have a decency to mute your microphone when you fucking do it. We don't want to hear it. You think we want to hear your bodily functions? I've got to fucking count them for a fucking bingo.
For me, that's like the end of everything, that I did something like that. But then another creator does something insanely overdramatic, you know, bad drama, but it's gone in 10 seconds, not a big deal, right? It's just, it kills me, you know? I don't get it. Like, there's been drama things with Review Tech and others that have been way more drama-esque, you know, than anything I've ever done, but I'm the one that gets all the ire of the internet for some odd reason. I don't understand that at all. I've been told about, it's funny because here's what happens, right? Oh, your guys are right, I didn't put on the gunner glasses, I'll do that. I forgot about that. Whenever someone wrongs me, I immediately get bombarded with information about the negative things that person or group has done. Like after the Side Scrollers interview last year, people bombarded me with information about how horrible Stuttering Craig and Adam Kriegler are as individuals. They sent me like laundry lists of shit hoping that I was going to do toxic streams about them. Guess how many toxic streams I did about those guys?
No, I would say about 4 or 5. So you went off on them kind of randomly and unfairly, I feel. Yeah, it wasn't 0. It definitely wasn't fucking 0.
Because that's not who I am. I don't care. But I hear all this stuff, and I'm like, really? And then you look into it for 5 minutes, and a lot of it's true. There's clips of it and stuff, and I'm like, so this is similar to some of the stuff that I've done in the past.
Phil, those clips are out of context. Context is important. There's clips of you as well, but those are always out of context.
You know, but for me, it's like unforgivable, right? When I did something in 2010, that's unforgivable. You can never ever forget that Phil said this thing in 2010. Yet here's everyone else on the internet has exactly the same shit that's happened to them, but they're just, don't even bother talking about it. It's not a big deal, right? Yeah, last year, Review Tech had drama with some kind of I don't even know what it was, some kind of a charity thing. And again, he kept bringing me up, so people are hammering me with information. Did you hear how he went back on his charity and he freaked out on his viewers and this and that? I'm like, no, I didn't hear, I don't care, right? And then guess what? Never brought up again. If that were me, if I were in that situation, this would be the thing talked about for the next 7 years. Phil's an awful person. He screwed a charity. He lied about charity. He did awful things. He attacked.
You have, though. You've done all those things. You've claimed to be some charitable person, but the only evidence of you doing anything for charity is giving $0 when you claimed it on your bankruptcy form.
Attacks this, attacks that. You know what I'm saying? So everyone else just gets a pass on the internet. Everyone, they're human, they make mistakes, they're okay. But when Darkside Phil sneezes and a booger flies out of his nose on camera, that's like canceled material, right? It's like, huh? I don't get it, but that's just how I'm treated versus others.
It's because you're a fucking dick.
But again, I'm not part of any of this. I pay no attention to any of it. I don't know anything about it. Again, it really, literally just people send this shit to me. Here you go, here's all this toxic stuff. Go ahead, destroy Craig and Adam. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't need to. That's not who I am. I'm not a drama creator. I play games. I do React content. We hang out and have a good time. That's who I want to be. Not a negative person, you understand?
You are who you are. You are at your core a negative person. It is in the very fibre of your being, and you cannot fucking escape from it. You can try and pretend to be a fucking happy, positive person all the fucking time, but we always see on a daily basis the fucking negativity and toxicity spewing forth from every pore on your miserable little fucking body. Now, do we have otters back, or are they still fucking missing? I think they're there, but I think they're out of shot. I demand an otter and I want it now. Like, I feel like there's some over here where the water's going mental. This is so infuriating. Like, are they actually there, or are they just, or am I being like had? I guess we'll come back. I was hoping for a little mini otter break. Goddamn Vancouver otters trolling me again when I need them most. Fine, we'll endure some more full toxicity and then we'll go back to the otters later on.
I understand that mentality, honestly. I received a $10 super chat from Dr. Oink. I bought the game and decided to roll Steve. Feels like I'm playing Dark Souls with a dagger. It seems unbalanced. How do you feel about the game thus far since you played? I like it. I like that a lot of characters play very differently. Although, that's on paper, because really what it is there's a couple things about Tekken that are common. Like, for example, number one, where are you fishing for a big hit that leads to a giant combo? Because everyone in the game has a giant combo, but everyone has a different way to get that one big hit that leads to the combo. Right? That's the difference. And then, how many routes do you have to big damage? Some characters only have a few, and some have a ton that are easy to pull off, and that's what's ridiculous. Like, I guess what a lot of people are saying about the new character, Azucena, she could literally duck, and she has like the fastest move from a duck, where it's just a big explosion of a hit, and it counter hits almost everything in the game and leads to a giant combo. So at any point in the game, if you whiff against her and she's not blocking, she ducks under it, you lose the round. Why is it that easy for her? Now, I don't know, it could be false, but that's what people were telling me about the character, right? And it's like, it's just weird. Why is it? That does seem unbalanced, does it not? But then again, is that more powerful than someone who's really trying to pick their hits, and someone like King, who can get that hit in and do a combo, it's just not as common, but every once in a while, he can grab you for giant damage, and it's almost impossible to get out of, right? Again, everyone could argue different styles of fighting in fighting games are different or more powerful, so it's a really subjective thing, I feel. Like, I think some people would be like, well, I think it's more powerful for this guy to have this mix-up, and it's almost inescapable. Someone else would say, yeah, but this moves too fast and too overpowered and leads to too much damage. In the case of Steve has always been the very fast mix-up character with his punches. He's not going to do giant damage, but he's fishing for mix-up hits, and once he gets you with 2 or 3 mix-up hits, leads to either a crumple or a juggle, and then he gets big damage, and then he kind of mixes you up when you're trying to get up. So he's like, stick and move, stay on you, stay on you. If he gets knocked away, he's screwed. Like, that's how Steve has always been. He has to be in on you. He's a boxer. That's how boxing is, right? In boxing, you got to stick and move on your opponent. You can't back up away. Now you're fucked. You got to be in on there. Get in on their defense. Find their hole. Get that one hit. Boom. Now juggle. Get them to the corner. Now they can't get up. Just keep knocking them when they're trying to get up. That's how you play with Steve. That's different from the style of many other characters in the game. So, okay. I got one more tip here. Huh? So, I got a $1 tip. Someone says, you can play Tekken in your free time. No one forces you to play it stream only. I don't know how many times I've explained to everybody. I don't know if this is meant to be like a mean message or not, because I've explained this a million times. Guys, I'm in here 6 days a week, full time, right? Streaming, constant gameplay. When I leave this room, to spend time with my family, and the last thing that I want to do is pick up a controller and play video games. I'm not going to leave this room with the stream off, go downstairs, play Tekken 8, and grind. Like, that's not going to happen. That's what this here is exactly what I do for a living, and this is what I do for gameplay. That's it. I want my life outside of this room to be separate from this, so that my whole life isn't video games.
Then why are you dragging your big, beefy bitch of a wife in to fucking play games with you on streams?
Video games. Do you understand? Now, I'm not saying nothing video game related, but like if my wife and I are going to do, if she's going to play a game and I can watch her play and comment on it, help her with it, that's different. Or if we're watching someone else play a game, that's different. But I don't want to just be playing games my whole life, right? Like, that's nuts. Imagine if all you did, imagine if you were a house painter, right? So you're out all day painting houses. When you come home, what do? You go outside, you paint your house. The fuck? What are you crazy?
Yeah, why the fuck would you pay someone to paint your house if you're a professional house painter? That makes sense to me. Like, you've got the skills to fucking paint your own goddamn house. You're saving a whole bunch of money because it is your job, it's your craft, and you're an expert at it. Your example is pish. Your story is pish. Your life is pish. Your excuses are pish.
Easy? It's all you're gonna do your whole life? I'd lose my mind. I really would. So I purposefully separate that part of my life from my private part of my life. I am not going to sit here and grind in Tekken off camera. I don't have time. I'm in here so often.
It's so busy grinding in WWE champions. You can't fucking grind in 2 games at once, you daft bastards.
games. I don't have time outside of that to now go play Tekken offline. If you were talking to me 10, 15 years ago when I was single, I had no life, no family, no responsibilities, all I did was play video games all day.
What do you mean you had no fucking family? Your mother and father don't fucking count as family, you sick bastard.
That's a little different. Then yeah, you could argue, why aren't you grinding off camera or whatever? I don't have that now. Dude, I'm 41, about to be 42 years old, but married with a family, busy shit, busy life. I'm not gonna sit here grinding in Tekken off stream when I could be spending time with my family.
Apparently, if you're fucking married and you work full time, you don't have time for anything else in life. Like, who here has a married life, a family, a real full-time job, and still finds the time to do fun things as hobbies outside of all that? I think most people would.
Right? Like, what are you, crazy? Yeah, if you think that that's valid, I'm gonna sit in my office playing Tekken away from my family when I'm not on stream. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. Okay? Alright. Dr. Oink did another super chat. What do you say here? Steve has no giant combos. King has a 60% grab. Well, yes and no. King has 60% combo grabs that are easily breakable. His best grabs are fast one-hit grabs that are harder to counter, and those on average do around 20 to 30%. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Anyway, have a good stream, brother. I'll be here. Yeah, and again, that every character in Tekken, well, not every character, but various characters in Tekken play very differently. And yeah, King fundamentally plays totally different from Steve, who fundamentally plays totally different from, say, June, who fundamentally plays different from, say, Lars, right? They're all different. So, but that is the beauty of a good fighting game. You have characters that play completely differently, and you can find a character that feels like your style and settle into that character. It may not be fair. Like, I mean, hey, I feel the same way about Street Fighter 6. Who are my favorite characters in Street Fighter 6? The bottom tier. Lily, Dalsim, Zangief, Honda. Did you know Capcom Cup is currently going on, right? I think it started. And there's no E-Hondas, no Lilies whatsoever in Capcom Cup. 0 of them have qualified. Only one Zangief, and that's the best Zangief in the world. Snake Eyes qualified. Okay?
Hey, Blancas or a Phil?
So the characters I like are outright the worst. But I still like playing with them. Even though it's such a hard, you know, a hard climb to win fights with that. It's still fun to use them. And it's the same thing, you're not gonna have a character who's always the easy way to win, but if you can win with those characters, it means a lot, you know? It means more than, say, someone who picked fucking Ken or Luke and flowcharted their way to victory. Because, by the way, at Capcom Cup, there's like 8 to 10 Lukes and like 8 Kens. So half of Capcom Cup's qualifiers are 2 characters who are the easy mode characters that you don't need really a lot of skill to play with. Sad, but that's Capcom Cup because the game's not balanced. It's just not a balanced game. You have these top tiers that are just definitively easier to win with, which is just stupid. But that's how they made Street Fighter 6. They gotta fix it. I feel like they will. I feel like come the first season patch, they will rebalance the game and fix that shit. Because right now it's just way too skewed towards like 4 or 5 characters. Okay, are we good? I think it's time to end the show and to get started with Baldur's Gate, right? Why didn't I play Helldivers? Because Helldivers is an online co-op game, and I don't play online co-op games. That's why. It's not a solo experience, right? It's not even a couch co-op experience that I could try with Kat. It's an online co-op experience. That's why I haven't played it. There's no point. Yeah, you can match me with randoms, but the whole point is to have a coherent team that works together to win, so what's the point? Right? Am I right or am I right? Maybe I'm wrong. That was my understanding. And when I talked about it, I said I'm happy for them making such a great game. It's only a $40 game. It's monstrously exceeded any sales expectations they could have had. People are absolutely loving it in an online co-op environment. Good for you. If that's the style of game you like, I'm happy for you. You found one that's not AAA, not bloated, not over expensive, satisfying, fun, and I want more smaller studios to succeed at this capacity. Rather than having every game being an over bloated budget AAA game that sucks and microtransacts you out the ass, I'd rather have smaller studios have hits like this. So that's great to me. That's a good move for the industry in my opinion. Just not my style. Not my style of game, right? Okay. All right, time to end the show. Good show, long show today. You know, whenever I come back from a break, we usually have a much longer show. I cannot wait to see how I am misquoted and taken out of context today. They'll probably say that like I said 100 nasty things about Review Tech when I said 0. They'll probably, right? They'll probably say I hate Elden Ring even worse. Probably even worse. They'll probably even say like I hate Final Fantasy. I can't wait. I mean, I was so shocked at what they said about Elden Ring DLC coverage. Can you imagine what's coming out tomorrow overnight? I mean, anyway. Thank you all for watching the show. I hope you enjoy it. And let's have a nice relaxing day in Baldur's Gate 3. And let's have a nice challenging day in Tekken tonight. And I'll be back tomorrow for another awesome podcast with all of you. Everyone, peace out. I'll see you on Saturday. Okay. Alrighty, everybody. Well, I need to get set up and I need to pee before we start. Luckily, I don't have to do anything else. I just have to pee. But allow me to get set up here. Oh, my goodness. And I'm sorry that my camera, it looks so bright. Like I said, the sun is beating outside. And sadly, it's making the room way too bright. It's actually kind of warm. I think I might turn my fan up even higher. Right now it's on low. I might turn it on to like high because it's like fucking hot in here now. It sucks. It sucks. It's still winter. I hope we don't get an early spring. I like the cool air for gaming, man. Really, I do. Lucky Gremlin, you're taking off. See you tonight. All right, I'll see you tonight. That's right. Warren says, this just in. DSP obviously hates Final Fantasy a week before even playing it, even though he's now dedicating 17 hours to playing it in the first week. Oh, it's awful. What a terrible game, right? I mean, can't wait to play that stinker. Oh.
That's funny.
All right. So, if you guys could just give me a couple minutes, I'm going to go use the restroom and see what everyone's up to here, and then we're going to start. So just give me like 5 minutes. I'll be right back. I'm just going to mute the mic, and I'll see you in a sec.
And of course, we can now just fast forward until Phil gets back. When's he back? When's he back? Is he back here? He's back there. He waddles back into frame around about here. And Cat's not there because he closed the door.
Alrighty, everybody. Ooh, it's hot in here. It's going to be...
Wait a second. Cat is there because he closed the door. Yeah, that's right. He closes the door to stop Jasper coming in when Cat's there. That way, Cat just bothers... well, Jasper just bothers Cat instead. So yeah, that's why he closes the door when Cat's home. But yeah, there we go. But there is a rumour. There's a wee rumour going around, by the way. You know how Phil's changed his entire fucking schedule and his day off so he can fucking just be off on the Wednesday instead? Some people are saying that results in Cat not having a job anymore, and she is back home full time 24/7. I guess we'll soon see when it comes to like later on next week. And if Jasper turns up to anything, you know, like if Jasper's available on stream, does that mean Cat's away and looking for a job, or, you know, I don't know, banging Tyrone or something?
Alrighty, everybody. Ooh, it's hot in here. It's going to be a hotter one today because of the sun. I hope the sun goes away. Actually, hold on. Let me look at this weather. Yeah, see, it's 55 degrees outside.
And he's using his phone. That is conclusive evidence that he's using his phone to check the weather.
Burger. 5 in a row. That's concerning.
So yeah, we can definitely tick off that one. So we are 3 snorts away from a free space. We've got 2 free spaces already, and we are 5 away. I don't think we're going to win, sadly.
Which means in here with the sun, it's probably almost 70, which is why I'm so hot. No, man. Sun all day. All right, sun goes away tomorrow, though. Clouds tomorrow and rain all week after that. So I guess I got one hot, sunny day to get through. Whew, okay. I received a $5 tip from Ronnie the limo driver. Someone trolled you clashing Jahara into a barbarian. She's useless as a druid and a barbarian. Luckily, she's there for fan service. You won't need her for more than a couple of quests. I have received a guide to build her better, and we're going to do that right away. Seriously, I'm going to rebuild her right now. I just need to know how to respec because I don't know how to do that in the game. But I want to respec her right away as we start, so that way we can actually use her for a few fights, so she's not a joke character, right? And then we're going to continue on. So let's do that first thing. Let's actually fix that first thing, and then go from there. So how do you respec, actually? Let's see here. Ask Withers. Okay, that's easy enough. Just go right to camp and talk to Withers. Cool. Let's get a respec going. What the f... How did it... This is the most ridiculous knot in this wire. Hold on, this is insane. How did it knot like this on my day off? How do wires always manage to create knots when you're not even around? What is going on? Who is this? There's got to be a gnome or a gremlin who goes into your room with your electronics on a day you're not there and just ties everything to a fucking knot just to laugh at you, so when you come back, you're like, what the fuck? It's got to be because I don't know how else these things happen. Anyway, Darcy actually, I think it was Jasper. Jasper, TT came in here. Hey, we do have the door open on the day off, so he could come in here while we're gone and just do that. You're right. It could have been Jasper. I might have to set up some security footage to see what's going on because I'm really upset.
God, security footage of the fucking snort fort. Can you imagine if it's controlled, like, like through the internet, and people hacked his fucking security cameras so people could spy on the snort fort? Yeah, Phil, please get some cameras to your fucking home and connect it to your fucking internet so somebody could randomly just fucking see your fucking security footage and just fucking hack into that shit. Go on, Phil, do it. Although, of course, Phil's not going to buy the fucking security cameras, though. He's going to have to wait for somebody to donate it to him. Just like the fucking toilet seat headset again.
Felix says he's not looking to the rain in Washington. He has to work this weekend, and he's just going to get soaked. I'm looking forward to the rain. I love the rain, man. Give me the rain that's very heavy. Heavy as the rain.
Fuck you for getting soaked for having a real job working outside. Boo fucking who for you. What about me who has to stream all fucking day, sit in Mars and play video games? Think of my suffering.
As they say, I want it. Mass weight and volume. Dr. Oink did a super chat. He says, you can't hang up black curtains. Yeah, we've already talked about this a million times. My blinds are busted. I can't even pull them up even if I wanted to because they're broken.
Plus you're weak as shit with your noodle ass arms.
So we've talked about me getting blackout curtains, but it's just another thing that's like a big money investment. Like blackout curtains, no exaggeration, would probably cost hundreds of dollars to get here.
Well, fucking invest in it then, Phil. Is your business not worth investing in? Is that what you're telling your audience, that your business is not worth that?
To measure them, have them fit just to this window, and it's just something that I just kind of put up with and don't bother with and suffer through every year. We'll see. Maybe I'll get around to it. We'll find out. Your cat destroyed your blinds, Dark Gaming? Yeah, Jasper destroyed the blinds in the other room. He did. Because he kept going behind them to see out into the
Are you
street.
sure it wasn't fucking cat? She just blamed the cat.
And he pulled it so hard, he ripped all the wiring out, so now those are also broken. So every room, all 3 rooms where I put blinds in 10 years ago when I moved in, all the blinds are now busted. Every set is destroyed.
Yeah, I think you're right, Steve. We said like a minute ago there. What is it? I think Steve said a comment. Is there anything in that house that's not fucking broken? It's just everything. Everything is broken in a snort fort. Absolutely everything. Nothing survives. Is there anything in that house that works? Well, not Phil, that's for damn sure. He hasn't worked in like fucking, 15 years. Almost.
Jordan Bike says, blackout curtains are easy to install. You can get them at Marshalls or TJ Maxx. I did it for under $50. I don't know how to do construction very well. I'll tell you right now, I would fuck it up already.
I love it because someone's like, hey, this is the amount I spent, I'm not good at this, and yet I was able to fucking do it. And Phil's immediately in defense mode saying, I'm probably worse than you at life. And this is why. Oh god. Let's hear Phil trying to justify why he's a fucking lazy, incompetent piece of shit.
Under $50, I don't know how to do construction very well. I'll tell you right now, I would fuck it up already. These blinds, where they're hanging, where you would have to install the curtains, already has a lot of fucked up stuff because the blinds have been damaged. So I would need a professional to uninstall these blinds and then actually make sure that the new curtains get put in correctly so they don't fall off and break or destroy the wall. It's going to be expensive. It's not going to be a cheap thing. I'm not into it. I'm not going to fuck up my wall. So, yeah.
Well, if you need a professional blind person, then just ask Super Blind Man. It's in his fucking name.
I wish it was an easy thing. It's not, okay? These blinds, when I had them installed, total, I want to say the cost was over $600, because if I remember correctly, the big one in the bedroom, and that's a long-ass one, that was over $200. I want to say each of these rooms was like $170-something. So if you add it all together plus tax, it was like over $600 just to get the 3 rooms installed, if I remember correctly. But the thing is, they had to come out here and measure the windows, because my windows are custom sized. It's not like they're standard house size. So they have to measure, then they have to order and cut to the size of the window and then install. So it's a ton of extra work. As opposed to if I had a common house with like common windows and shit, then you just buy the generic and install it yourself. You can't even do that, because these windows are weird.
And you wonder how he fucking got into bankruptcy when he moved to the fucking snort fort. $600 on blinds for 3 rooms. That's just blinds for 3 rooms. $600 and all broken. $600 down the fucking drain.
But yeah, I think I should get a blackout curtain. I think that's the better way to go at this point, because these blinds, they just don't do it. You can see how bright I look, right? This is the darkest I can make the room right now. I can't make it any darker. It's just fucking sunlight coming through those blinds at me, you know? Okay, are we ready to start? All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ball.
And he is now recording for YouTube, which brings an end to the bingo. Sadly, we couldn't get a full house today, and we had 2 free spaces. Thanks to you guys liking the stream as well as Phil burping. I can't believe he didn't mention Tifa. He almost mentioned Tifa. He kind of alluded to it. Some people are saying I should have just ticked it anyway because he was talking about it without mentioning Tifa. But let's put it this way. Even if I had ticked it...
Burger. 5 in a row. That's concerning.
Even if I had ticked it, we still only have 1 because it would be too short. Anyway.
Burger. 5 in a row. That's concerning.
So in the end, it ultimately didn't result in missing it in a full house, whatever. As it is, that's just the way it goes. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's go to live DSP. How he's doing? 90 buckaroos. He needs 10 more dollars to continue the $100 plus Baldur's Gate free triple-digit tip stream. So yeah, he's 10 bucks away, and he's probably going to get it. Of course, in case you guys aren't aware, every single time Phil plays Baldur's Gate free, he gets at least $100 in tips every single time. Most times this is because his audience are terrified he's going to wage quit a game that they like seeing him play, and so they have to try and give Phil money to make sure he won't wage quit this. That is the only reason why Phil continues to play the game. There we go. Where the fuck are they? Where are they? Guys, we're not actually finished. We're finished with the bingo. The bingo's done. But we have marbles. It is Friday, and we're going to play some impossible marble maps to see if we can try and complete these impossible courses, these 99% elimination courses. So yeah, it's because it's Friday, we're going to just enjoy ourselves, and we'll see if we can get a wee victory here. Where I swear, are the otters not there yet? Motherfuckers. It feels like they're just like literally off camera, like just mocking me with their closeness to camera. Whatever. I am going to set up the marbles. I'll be back in a few minutes, don't go anywhere, and we'll see if we can complete these impossibly challenging marbles maps to, you know, send us off into our weekend. So yeah, be right back. Hey guys, we are back, and yeah, Marbles looks different. The thing got like reset. This is like season 50. So they changed the entire look of the bloody game. And yeah, here's all the Arthra maps, and I'm not entirely sure which ones to pick. There's like a whole bunch of them we could pick, you know. Here's all the 99% ones, and there's a couple I recognise and a couple I don't. So it's just a case of like, what do we do? Where do we go with this? You know, like, is there anything we like the look of? So hold on, let's. I mean, is there anything here which from these 99%ers, you know, from these ones here that are 99%? Which ones do we think would be the best ones to play? This one has 20 plays, rolling. So maybe add that to your favourites. Maybe, yeah, we could do that one. How about, so this one also is like the next popular one, Speedy, Second, Sabotage. I've seen Zap and Zone mentioned, we can do that. Try think, People are saying long ones. Well, this one here, Speedy Straight Sabotage, is 5 minutes. That's the longest one. Okay, there's a free. Okay, there's a free. So how about we do these? Okay, we'll just start with rolling roller. I think so I think we do this. So I've not played this updated version, but I think this is how it works now. And play. So we should have all our names shown. It's a bit longer than usual to load, but here we go. Here's all the marbles. The marbles are golden. We've got upgraded marbles. There's Lima Whiskey and they're all gold. We've got 242 different marbles. There's Twerp Draconis. There's Purple Aki and Slithers and Jasper's Angels and Wobbly and Sticky Man. There are the gang's all here. Look at all the fucking marbles. Right? There's Piggy Bank and there's King B. Cruel. Recent edition King B. Cruel. Oh, hello. We can actually start a countdown. There's new controls and everything. I guess we may as well utilise the countdown function, eh? Or just start. I pressed the wrong button and we're just forgetting. Okay, at time go, I guess. Rain and Lamour into an early lead. We'll follow them. So yeah, I'm not sure what's changed in the game, like in terms of like how it looks. I mean, like how it controls as well. I should say how it controls are maybe different things. No, big laser and people survive. Here we go, cool stuff. So we're still following Rain and Lamour. Some people are dying behind us. There's death messages on the screen on the right hand side. There's a big explosive barrel that just went off somewhere. There's more fire and lasers and burning hellfire here waiting for some people. But not Rain and Lamour. Rain and Lamour still survives and they make it through. And they're in contention with first place, for sure. They're right in there. We have picked a good marble to follow, it seems. Dashy's up there as well, Burimia and Tacozilla. Jim R6 is ahead though of everyone else right now as things stand. Jeremy Fister second, Tacozilla third. Jim R6 is gone, and Rain Lamour has a good line there, but it got bumped a little bit, but Tacozilla, they're all here. Rain and Lamour is now ahead, and they survived that laser. This could be absolute chaos and pandemonium here. There's several of them in a line and they're charging towards lasers. We've lost Rain and Lamour. We have Unsalted Skies and Dashy as a front too. Dashy's gone. We have Unsalted Skies, the picker of the bingo card that failed. No, not to point fingers or blame anyone for failing bingo, but Unsalted Skies picked that motherfucking card. It was their number. Winston #AnimeRight has now taken the lead. They came out of nowhere, bounced through, and they're now there to take the lead here, but they'll drop down here. Oh, there goes Andondo, they're down. So this bit's kind of mental. I'm just going to fast forward to this. Well, I say fast forward. We're going to skip to this bit just so we can see the full context. There's explosive barrels in there. And there's 3 different paths you can go. So yeah, this bit gets a bit chaotic. As you can see. That didn't do a lot of damage to Winston. In fact, I'd say it's helped him. Oh, and Unsalted Skies went through a portal and they got to start again, I think. I'm not sure. No, actually, Unsalted Skies got ahead. They actually went through the portal, which helped them. But this might not be good. Unsalted Skies is heading towards the end here. Can he survive the lasers? Can he survive the drop here? They're in, and they're out again, and they're down. So who's next? We've got Jasper's Angels, and we got Dare Bear as well. Do we only have 3 people left? And Jasper's Angels also fell. Dare Bear might make it. Dare Bear's the last one alive. Dare Bear's alive somehow, and they're gone. Winner is nobody. Damn. Well, we gave it a good try. Brian's asking if we finished this one before. I believe we did finish it one time. I think it was Elaine that finished it somehow. But I think that's what happened. Community maps. Favourites. We'll play the second one. There we go. We'll play Zappin' Zone. I need to set every time, so 242 bots. Right, here we go. So this is Zap and Zone. Yeah, this one looks familiar as well, I think. Does it though? Just pardon, excuse me while I'm zooming to... Why is there a random speed boost in the middle of the fucking air over here? Like, why is this here? How and why and does it... I don't know. Well, let's go to the finish here. I want to see what the finish is like here. So we have... So I assume the finish is we go here, fantastic, we go down there, go around in a circle, and then there's a random speed boost there as well in the air, we go up here, you drop down there, you need to survive, the evil glasses are shooting fucking lasers out, and you need to, so yeah, that's a tough one. Can we go straight back to the start? No, we can't. So, yeah, that's the course. I don't think we've done this one before. This one looks brand new to me. I don't recall it. If we have done it before, I don't think anyone's ever gotten to the end. I don't recognise that end. Hold on, someone says press home. I pressed the home button, nothing happened. I got deceived. I'm hitting start. But then if I can get back there anyway, if I fucking hold, why can't I go forward? There you go. There you go. But we made back to the start until we're fucking here. Noisy Puff and Gang of Wolves. Noisy Puff went straight through. So we're going to follow Noisy Puff, as they have taken an early commanding lead. So we'll follow them around and they'll drop down there. This is very bad for them. This is very bad for them. They're gone. Oh, this is bad for a lot of people. Attackers over David Riley, a Gang of Wolves with a chip. They're all falling. King B. Cruel and Dave. Everyone's falling. What you really need here is to slow down. D-Dog! Check out D-Dog in the lead here all of a sudden. But oh, Warren has overtaken. I'm going to keep following D-Dog. I am no longer going to follow D-Dog, I'm going to follow Warren. D-Dog fell off. Warren going down one way, Wobbly going down the other way. There's neck and neck there, Chody Taint trying to get involved. And they bash a marble against Warren, and Warren has been barred. Ah, goodness me. Let's see. We should probably keep up with Chody Taint because they're ahead right now. Oh, this looks like a strange double trampoline. They barely make it. They barely make it. Uppers don't though. Agent Proper's gone. Tragic, but Chody Taint is now in a lead here. Wobbly's right behind them. Michael and Simple Guy are following in the rear. But Chody Taint here has a great opportunity here as long as they maintain this line. Mind you, getting to the end is one thing. Can you get to the finish though without getting fried or falling through here or whatever? This is a strange one. Uphill. Okay, what happens here? What happens here? Wobbly won! Chody Taint fell to their demise, but Wobbly managed to survive. Dashy's gone. Sticky Man made it as well. So much on 99% fail rate. We've got 3 people in the fucking finish. This map lied to me. We have one more left alive, which is Looks Like Rain. And they didn't make it, but we had 3 people that finished that fucking course. The hell, man. So there we go. That map was not hard. That wasn't that bad. 3 people finishing one track, 99% fail rate. I'm calling shenanigans. Well done to Wobbly though. We have one more race, one more track, which is a lengthy 5-minute one. Called Speedy Straight Sabotage. Let's see what this one's like. Do I recognise this one? Oh, we do. This one's a bit glitchy. This one is a bit temperamental. So, yeah. Let's go through it and you'll see what I mean. So Meowmix has the early command and lead, but they make it slow down here, and they haven't got slowed down. Nathan Coley. Hey, wait a second. It's me. I'm going to follow me. But can you imagine if I win? They'd be like, shenanigans, fix, fuss. Hey, I'm doing well so far. I'm ahead. I'm winning. I am no longer winning. I should not have said anything. As soon as I opened my mouth, I went from first to not fucking first. Oh, that's a good drop down, I think, for me. I'm sticking with me. I don't care. I'm loyal to myself. I'm sticking with me until I perish. Oh, that's bad for me. I am dead. I'm dead. I'm done. Okay, well, we're no longer following me. We've lost half our marbles. I'm just keeping an eye on this here. MRC Midnight is the first one to get through successfully the loopity loops, and they are now waiting to get through these strange things. I don't know what to fucking call those fucking things. Oh, this bit takes forever. This bit takes forever. Well, we're waiting for that to happen. Is there anyone stuck here? Oh, I fucking end up there. Are these guys stuck? Hold up, we'll catch up with MRC Midnight in a second, okay? Are these guys stuck? We can't get in there, but they're stuck in there. Clearly. Yeah, there they are. There's like 5 of them. God damn it, there's like 5 of them. Oops, press the wrong button. I press 1. There we go. Oh, that's a bad. That's bad. Well, there are some people that are dead, and some people that are stuck. We are following Nosty Fripples, and oh, they're stuck. Everyone's stuck here. I'm telling you right now, this is very bad news for most people here, because they're about to go that way. Yeah, this is very bad news. Oh, it's not going well at all. Is anyone going to get through? Carmine might have timed this perfectly. Everyone's going to make it through, but Lumen Marty's now fallen off the edge. Carmine, they survived just about. Brian A and Carmine complete this map as well. Hold on. Hold on. I thought these maps were meant to be fucking impossible. In the past 2 maps we have completed, we've had 5 people complete them. So, where is everyone else? Oh, for God's sake, they're up there, aren't they? Because people finished though. So let me explain what's happening. Dead Schooled is stuck forever. And don't ask me what happened to Wobbly. I don't know how they managed to get in there, but they found a way. But because people finished, oh, the map's going to burn, and there we go. So Brian won that one. So we had a couple of winners on these apparently impossible maps. Impossible, my arse. You want to know a really impossible map? You want to know a really impossible map? So if you... The most impossible map this guy ever made was this one, in my opinion. We'll see right now how people's luck is. This will test how lucky people are. This is the very first. This is our first experience of this guy's maps. Arthur's maps. This is what introduced us to his world of insanity and debauchery. So this is how we found this guy's maps. This is the very first one we came across, and this one haunted us. This one plagued us for what felt like weeks. So what's happening here? You're hitting that trampoline, you're trying to get through one of these portals, and you will then be found there. Give more blood has demonstrated the aim. This might be very bad news for Give More Bloods because, well, that, then that, and then that. Oh, CE might get away with it. Captain Obvious just powered our way through. So, getting to this part is not the biggest accomplishment. You have to try and somehow navigate your way across these bouncing blocks. Make it over here. Not overshoot the damn thing. And then somehow time it perfectly so you fall in the gap in between when it's moving. So Captain Obvious will get their turn. BR Joe is going to try and make it over as well, so his IP2 wins. Hawk Swervers has made it over. So the finish is there, but it's moving. And then they've fallen through, nobody's won yet. The finish is in a gap below there. See, like in there. So it's just the moving blocks is hard to time it perfectly. We have Navy Vet for Life, who's next to have a go. We'll just stay over here. Oh, they didn't even get a good bounce, they're so unlucky. Yeah, these blocks move randomly, you meant to bounce you over. Who's next then? Lionel's here. I didn't realise fucking Lionel's here. They were so close. They were so close. And they get to try again. If they weren't in this exact middle, they would have fallen in. How? And then Logan K has fallen to his doom. Lionel gets to try again. They got launched back, so they get to try one more time. And they're outside the zone though. Even if they're outside the zone and they're gone. We're following Francisco Ramos Mejia now, who's in midair and he's going to fall short. And that's going to be the last one. See, now, you want to talk about an impossible map? This one is usually, for the most part, impossible. Usually, anyway. Anyway, that's that. So, some random marbles. That's just done. I'm calling it quits there. How do you click this bloody thing? Stop that. So just close that. There you go. Show you what to put. Yeah, confirm. Finally, we have otters. Finally. It's been long overdue. Been needing otters so goddamn badly, and we get our goddamn otters finally right at the end of the stream. Oh, bloody hell. Guys, thank you very much for joining me for tonight's DSP Bingo. Sadly, we couldn't get a full house, but it is what it is. Nothing we can do. Bug bingo mechanics and all that jazz. Do hope you all had a good time regardless. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And yeah, hope you all enjoy your Friday as well. And your Saturday as well. I will return on Sunday for some more DSP Bingo content antics and all that jazz. Until then, I do hope you have a good time, have a good one, and yeah, I'm going to end how I always end by playing Notorious PIG contributions made by supremely talented Pixar Animations. So yeah, until Sunday, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
On September 14th, a pre-authorized payment of $16.51 from PayPal.
All right, Luna Mills has tipped me $1.30. It says, "I'm back. What's your favorite type of shower?" When you're showered in money, when you go outside, and all of a sudden, greenbacks start falling from the sky, and you raise your face up. You're like, oh, you start dancing. You go, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. All right, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but thank you for the first tip of the day. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh, money, money, yeah, yeah. These contributions are mandatory. Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, money, oh. gone like that.